Hello. Okay, it works now. How y'all doing? Welcome back, boys. Up everybody. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I got something I gotta fix apparently. Hold on a second. We had a weird power outage in the neighborhood kind of recently. What is that? What the hell? Dude, I should have washed my hair today. I woke up so late today. My hair is kind of oily, kind of greasy. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm feeling homeless. Let me see if I can fix this. So we had a weird power outage yesterday. It was like eerie too, dude. Like we went out, when power went out, it like flashed, everything went out. Dead silent. I go outside with a flashlight. I'm like, my entire neighborhood is out. What's weird was it's just quiet. No birds, no bugs, no weird chirping. It was like middle of the night, but like nothing, not a peep. No cars, not even neighbors shuffling around trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Because normally everybody goes out to figure out like, okay, what is happening, right? Yeah. So yeah, it was just really weird, really eerie. I think what I do last time with the cam, I think it's like, I think what's it doing is like a color correction thing. So what do I find that again? It's like gives me blue, right? It makes me look really blue. I'm not this blue. It's not even cold in my house, dude. Kind of warm, it's summer. Привет, Dalaran, здорово, Sergey, здорово. Is it white balance? Ooh, it's white balance. It's not even blue, it's just, I guess it's trying to give me like a white filter. That's weird. That is weird. Boys, how y'all doing? Welcome back. We're back, baby. We're back, and hopefully green screen is all kind of good. Kinda. Alrighty, we're good enough, boys. How y'all doing though? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a good one, man. Hope everybody's having a wonderful, beautiful evening, dude. My hair's so greasy. It feels so terrible, dude. I know you're not supposed to like shampoo it every single day and whatnot, dude, but I feel like I just might have to, honestly, or figure something out, man. I tried something different, dude. I tried something different today, like, all right, let's do everything, but not shampoo it. Whatever, man. Whatever. I feel like trash. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I feel like absolutely like I crawled out of a dumpster and here I am streaming. It's hot. It's hot where I live. I live by the beach. I live in North Carolina. I live in by the coast. It's hot. Everything feels terrible. My hair is you ever just wake up and it feels like you woke up on a rogue side of the bed? That's how I feel today, dude. Holy, can I complain for 2 seconds? Get the music in here now. Let's get some 5V5 duels for the day, boys. Let me just scream my head off here. Maybe that'll feel a little better. You know what? Maybe I should get the fan going. I feel like it's a little too big. I got myself like a big ass fan a while back, but that thing is huge. And it's like, even just setting on a lowest setting, it's just like, it's a lot of wind. It's a lot of wind, dude. I catch a cold with that thing. It's too good. Too strong. Let me get the duels up and running here, baby. Let me get these up and running too. EU, beautiful. Okay, weird, Blizz, weird. Dude, everything is feeling weird today. Even my BNet has been acting up a little bit. I live in SoCal, it's bad today. Yo, in SoCal, I can imagine, man. I can imagine. I mean, it's so hot. There's literally fires where you live, man. So, you know, like, I shouldn't complain, but I'm gonna, dude. What's bad in my area, more than anything, is not even the heat, it's the humidity. We don't have dry heat. We have humidity because we live in like wetlands area, like really close to wetlands, which is amazing during hurricane season because they're like a sponge. It'll just soak up all that water. It's great. So hurricanes can be destructive. Water damage, not that bad. It just slurps it up. Not get humidity? Yeah, a ton of humidity, dude. It is the worst. Humidity is the worst part just because it just gets trapped up and it's just everywhere. Yeah. Sticky. I do. Yeah, I think this is the best way to describe it. It's like sticky. Everything is so sticky. I hate it. I hate it. We got ourselves duels over today. Who's got groups? Let me know and we'll get these up and running here, boys. Who's got groups? Let me know real quick and we'll get them up and running here. Real quick. Yeah, it's horribly heated. It's on. Yeah, dude. I would like to experience some dry ass heat someday. Like dry ass West Coast heat, man. I feel like that'll be at least a little manageable. Ready? Johnny's ready. Who's got a second group, boys? Cobra, ты играешь или что? Seeing Cobra's playing today. Look, trying to see my man finally cut up live. Hope everything's good. What's up, Zach? How you doing, man? Feeling like a homeless guy for the day, but otherwise I'm good. Otherwise I'm doing all right. Plus, we have 5 men. We do. Let's go, baby. Don't even waste any time. We'll just dive right into it, boys. Let's dive right in. I don't even know how I decided to do that as like part of like what I say in videos now. Let's dive right in. How did that even become a thing? Don't ask me. Like, I'm even wondering the same thing myself. Johnny, should you do icon? Is it supposed to be Arthas? Yo, I like that. Делать, играть, тоже готов. Делать Грейз. Я не знаю, что делать Грейз. Делать Грейз. Doing Grays? I don't even really know what Cobra just said, to be honest. I didn't know что сказал, друг. Русский забываю. Spectator match. Spectator match. Because I can't spell Johnny boy. Also, chat. I need to pull up the class bus from this week. I need to pull up the class bus from this week just so I have a reference here. Well, let me do that real quickly before we get started. I keep forgetting to... I should just pin this somewhere. The actual notes from like this week. Because there's a bunch of bugs that came in this week. For PvP. There it is. There's a whole list. There's a bunch of PvE buffs. Like Diablo's Destro. That should be pretty good. Dirt, grass. Oh, okay. Хорошо, понимаю. Grass, хорошо. Fire Mages got buffed up a ton this week. Frost Mages got buffed up. Yo, Unholy got buffed up. Destruction feel pretty good, by the way. Boomy got buffed as well. I don't know if we got any Boomies in here. Rest got buffed, but who cares? Warrior, I feel like is gonna feel pretty bad with that Execute nerf. Oh, dude, there's actually some really good buzz this week. Oh my god. That should be good. Dude, that has the Void Wyvern. I got the Void Wyvern. Let's go, dude. Congrats. Boss got finally fixed. You mean the big boss in the area? Okay, nice. Yeah, so I haven't seen the bug that you talked about at all, ma'am. Like, people have gotten bugs apparently with the bike, and people got bugs with like some of the bosses not really spawning. I haven't seen a single one of the bugs at all yet. I mean, I guess I didn't see the box spawning for a bit until I got my clear sight buff, and then I saw it spawning. I don't know if they're related or whatnot, but yeah. That's awesome though. Happy for you, man. Congrats. Congrats. Do you get the cow? Not the cow. I was gonna say cow. Wolf as well, because the wolf is pretty easy to get. You can get it in the same run as Wyvern. I guess it's even easier because you just need one mask and you go to, or is it 2? 1 or 2. You go to the Valley of Wisdom, pick up the wolf tack, and then you go to Valley of Honor and pick up a saddle, and then you go back to. Am I wearing the shirt inside out? No. The stitching here is just really weird, bro. Days today has been weird, man. The stitching in this shirt is weird for some reason. It's almost like it's inside out, but I know it ain't. Weird. Anyway, let's get this Duels up and running, boys. Switch. Got ourselves Envy over for the team 1, ready to go. Oh wait, Blood Elf? Huh? Not an orc this time around. We got Leo here as well. The Frost Death Strike. Oh, you're not Frosty. You're Unholy. I like that look, by the way. Oh wait, that actually looks awesome. Wait, I like the simple shoulders, the gloves. The parasol is a nice touch. The tabard. I like the simplicity of the set. Even like what looks like you're wearing socks. I actually really like the simplicity of the set. I don't know what it is. What kind of shoes are those? What is that? What is that supposed to be even? I like this. What the hell? It looks like black and white. Like grayscale. Everything. Cobra gonna be first up versus him with his mug. Dropping down a couple of rain of fires. Is he playing Diablos? He is playing Diablos. The Diablos got buffed up. All the demons summon Diablos hit harder. Ruination should hit also very, very hard too. Gonna be Leo immediately with the army of undead summoning up. Is he playing the full army build with the mages? He does play mages. It's gonna be full zombos versus demons. Armies of demons spawning in. Leo, IPFs to try to see if he keep pushing the offensive versus Cobra. Go for the big gateway. Is to try to see if he can connect TDs around for Leo. Doesn't quite connect with a grip onto Cobra, however, is going to be able to get dots as well as a bolt to follow. Maybe a big defensive out of Leo. Maybe you're looking at it. Jetpack might have to be the play. Using the Death Strike buffs in order to keep himself alive. Look at the Death Strike buffs. Look at these Death Strike buffs, man. Look at that healing. Look, wait, the class can actually heal now. No way. Look at Leo catching back up to full health. I don't know how many Death Strike that was, but he was able to catch up. Look at him. Every single time he's hacking away with a Death Strike, he actually rips a good bit of health back. That's amazing. Oh, that Pit Lord actually does feel impactful. Just a couple of seconds of channel there. Not even a full second. And he's already did a number into Leo's health. He's going to go for a fear and try to see if he can dodge it. Cobra, does he have another port to get out of the way? Leo trying to be very, very careful. Might have to go for Death Pact here. Potentially has damage here. Bob coming up soon. Death Strike's keeping him alive, though, barely. Trying to see if he can maybe get a kick. Oh, it's just Cobra. Does go for AMS with a big grip, maybe? No! Wraithwalk to try to catch up as the armies of Undead dudes come out little by little. Try to avoid the Maguses with the Frost Bolts and Shadow Bolts because those have also gotten buffed up by a decent bit. So that could be decent damage for Leo. Waiting now for the Death Pact here. Has the pet. He's going to grip the pet. Look at those Death Strikes. Look at those Death Strikes. I know it's not the craziest healing. He's not literally hitting a lay on hands on himself when he hits a Death Strike, but like, his health bar actually moves. It actually makes a movement. Silence onto the Cobra. Might be under a lot of pressure. I don't know if he's going to survive it. That's also one extra rider joining in the play. Mortal Coil into Shadow Fury. Cannot break out of it. Actually doesn't break out of it. Human Racial will save for just for that. Walls up for Cobra. Can hard cast spells at Leo, but he's not going to go for it. Lichborn now for Leo. Just to give him some more healing. Big damage on the Cobra. Blind. Oh, catches a win. Oh my goodness. Oh, Lordy and Saya. Oh, Saya's gonna end your day, ain't he? Unless he gives Leo a chance here to fully recover. Does have Mage Foot on the team, so it should be okay. I'm not gonna let him. Just gonna walk up and bonk him immediately. Wake of Ashes, getting that Dawn Light on him. For Leo's gonna have to try to heal through the Dawn Light. That's about all he can really do in that situation. He has to go for healing, man. He has to go for Death Strike spam. He's just trying to see if he can back up out of there. AMS is available. Maybe he can catch up a little bit of healing. Saya does get him some tentacle spawning in. Backing away from Leo. Just going to hit him from range. He doesn't need to be in melee range of the guy at all. Leo under a ton of pressure. I don't know if he can go for an army here. Might be able to. But that Dawn Light, that might just kill you. Dawn Light with Consecration might just be the end of you. You need to heal. Yeah, Saya just walks by and just hammers you down. That is so rough, man. That is not easy. Stormbolt by Envy does get a spear onto Saya. It is going to connect, but he's going to wait out for the blind into a stun right after. Just trying to see if he can bypass the damage of the warrior. But look at that big mortar strike there. Hold on a second. Saya, unless you can get away from him and slow him down, which is exactly what he's trying to do. Just trying to cut him out as best as possible. Could be under a lot of pressure. At least the executes from Envy don't hit nearly as hard. The Rand, however, has got buffed up by like 15% to compensate for the execute nerf. So maybe for Saya, there could potentially be quite a decent bit of bleeds. Those executes are still doing a decent bit of damage. The enemy's health is getting pretty low. Does get himself a charge. Blaze Storm staying on top of Saya with a stun. Playing out the Slayer, so he's getting free Mortal Strikes in between the Blaze Storm. Might be able to let him catch up in damage, but the couple of hammers on Saya were enough to take him down. That is rough, man. That is rough. I believe you need 2 masks for Wyvern, 1 for the Wolf. I thought it was 3 masks for the Wyvern. At least that's how it was on PTR for a little bit. But maybe they changed it. Maybe they, because I know the Griffin, it looked like it was gonna need like 1, but then it became 2. Wyvern was supposed to be 3, but then maybe it became 2. I'm not really sure. I know that they changed up the visions a little bit right before like the release. Because PTR and the version we have now are different. Even like the split personality madness was a little different on PTR. Gave you a lot more outs, a lot more spaces to break out of it. Compared to the current version, which is like, okay, let's buff it back up. It's super annoying. Me's just trying to see if he can stay away from Saya. He has got himself full immunity to magic damage. Breath will not be able to connect. Stun might be able to if you can just walk next to him, but he's right out of your range. Having to back up out of there, but Beast is under pressure. He is going to get domed down by another hammer. You could have blocked in that situation, I guess, but I feel like at that point you maybe decided, you know what, I am so behind, I'm just going to end it here. Nutka the Orc Mage is going to be up next. They beefed up Fire Mages quite a lot with PvP buffs, by the way, this week. Trick it out, but a blind is going to be able to connect. Saya go for regenerating that. Mastery Dot will not be able to break that damage. Saya under a ton of pressure. Might have to bubble this. Trying to see if he keeps him alive here. Needs to be very, very careful. Dude, Pyroblast actually hit very hard now. It's going to be a bubble. Invis out for Nutka. Get him some random proc combustion. Shift the power to get some cooldowns back really, really quickly. And Saya tried to continue down the slammer jammer onto the mages. They did end up nerfing the mages reflect shield PvP talent, but the rest of his damage kit is very, very strong now. It's got buffed up by like, what is it, 15-20% or something like that? Hold on, I actually still have the notes here. It's buffed up by, let me tell you, 15 to 20. Most abilities by 15 or so. Like basic abilities, blast, pyro. I think pyro by 20. But yeah, all the others are by 15. Nutka might not be in a great spot. Might be actually in a little bit of trouble. I think it's over. Unless he blocks it. Might just have to. Still has Cauterize. Trying to go for shields. Shields is going to reflect damage back to Saya, but they're not going to be long-lived. Cauterize proc. He might be looking for a block here. There goes the block. There goes the block. Saya does get himself in a great position, though no more immunities are left. So for Nutka, for the mage here, this might be his best chance here, man. Is going to go for a knockback off of that breath. Try to let Apollyon to Saya. Saya, however, has plenty of range damage, so Nutka is not gonna be able to max range him. Does drop a big meteor, big pyroblast to follow. Isn't gonna be enough here. Got himself instant cast, breaking through his shield of vengeance. Saya kind of low, but so is Nutka. Needs himself a shield immediately. Goes in for invis, but it's not enough. No, it is not enough. Shiny gonna be up next. Saya picking up a layer of hands just to stabilize, but he's got himself a trinket. He needs to burn wings and really put pressure onto Shiny immediately. Oh, blind off of a leap, which actually does put a daze on you, so you actually can kind of see it, and if you quick enough off of that leap, you can blind the feral. That actually is a big tell if you're not careful as a feral. There is a disorient effect. Not disorient. What does it say? Daze? Slow. It's just like a slow effect. It's like a slow and debuff. Bash onto Saya does get him some blessing and sake. So stun does not sit long at all though. Hold on, as he gets turned around, Shiny does get some bleeds on the guy. Saya, you are under a ton of pressure. Those bleeds are detrimental. Into a stun. No tricking for the feral. Had himself Heart of the Wild. Heart of the Champion. Gives him plenty of defense. This is to let the bleeds roll. Shield of Vengeance for Saya. Oh, does bring it back though. Hold on. Saya with a 5. I did not think Saya was walking in here looking for a clean sweep. What is that? This guy, dude. These paladins, man. Paladins didn't get buffed up this week, did they? I think they got buffed up last week or something, right? My goodness. Let's get us another one going, boys. Yeah, uno más, uno más, uno más. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What is that damage? Oh, I have to dip lane to go to ping. That's all good, my guy. That's unfortunate that you got that much ping, but hey, if you got a dip, you got a dip. I appreciate it. Your mother can join us back anytime. Who needs a body? Is it plush? I think it might be Team Johnny, actually, right? Might be Team Johnny. I'll need 2 for the Wyvern. They may have changed it. Got a Wednesday. Nice. Hell yeah. Wyvern definitely took 3 for me. That's what I did. I put on 3 for Wyvern. And I just got both the Wyvern as well as the Wolf in a single run because I thought, like, might as well. I just did a save play. Maybe they did reduce it down to just 2. But I know that on PTR, like, certain masks were different how you acquired them on PTR compared to live. On PTR, like, you needed a 3-mask run to get the multitudes, or yeah, multitude mask. But then they changed it so that you have to just kill everything while 1 mask is active. Like, the data mined way of how to get that 3 mask was like data mined a while ago. It was like on Wowhead and Ice Image for so long. They changed it now, but you can still find the comments of people like talking about, hey, I tried a 3 mask, nothing happened. What gives it? But you'll still find like those comments for that mask specifically if you look it up on Wowhead. That's how you know that at some point it was like 3 masks, and that's how people were acquiring it. And then I guess they changed it on PTR. But they kept it secretive, sorta, kinda. I guess they never really like revealed in the blue post or anything like how to get a certain mask, because it was like, well, you gotta figure it out, sorta, kinda. Not the hardest way to do it. Ready? Beautiful. We got both groups ready, boys. Look, Warlock apparently is real meh. Apparently, I was right trying alts. Why is Warlock meh? I can't join? Okay, hold on. One of you boys is offline or online or something along those lines. Hold on. Unable to join the queue. I'm pretty sure it's not me, right? Okay, we tried again. Make sure you're lead of Plush and Johnny. Make sure you boys are lead for your groups. I'll try it in a second here. But it's not letting me queue you guys up because one of you is probably not lead. Was it Plush? Again? Okay. There we go. Yeah, you have to be leading your groups in order for me to be able to queue you. Dudes, I've been on a bit of a mount grind recently. I got the Time Lost Proto. I got the AONX mount. I recently got a bunch of my ults in different areas to see if we can get more mounts, just because I've been kind of into it recently. And I've recently also picked up the, you know that Moldrax's big Colosseum Theater of Pain area? Not the Dungeon Theater of Pain, but like the overworld version, where there's like a big elite that spawns in the middle and you gotta kill them. I had to kill 5 of those in order to get the wolf from there, like the dog mount from that. I forget what's it called. But yeah, camo from Oldham. Are you talking about the one that you have to like keep coming back to for daily quests? No. I don't really care for those mounts. I mean, those will look cool. I like the ones where I've been really getting into like kill a rare, get a mount, and rare hunting. I just have a bunch of characters everywhere, spread out in every zone where there could be a mount. The random spawn one? Oh, I don't even know about that one then. I don't know about that one. I'll be interested though. We're just not familiar with that. Okay. We got ourselves another one, boys. Uno más. Switch. Got ourselves Switcheroo Sabo making a return. Hey, dude. Oh my god, it looks so good. Oh, this set. Oh, even the back piece matches it so well. Ah, that's so awesome. Nutka gonna be first up. Versus push. Mad burst out of the fire mage. The rogue having to cloak immediately. What was that? Mage is getting beefed up, man. And Nutka trying to see if he can make those burst damage work. Look at his little images, dude. I like how he has a butcher's knife and like a book. I'm assuming it's like a cookbook or something. Cookbook. On how to cook gnomish flesh, maybe? I don't really know, dude. I'm just thinking of like, an orc with a mask of like a laughing skull. They're pretty savage-like, right? Those guys, they're a little bit more ook, right? Ooga booga, kind of a type of an orc. I like how some of them are like, you know, they got the Blackrock, which is super industrial. I guess the Warlord's General version is very industrial. But then you got the Laughing Skull, or like the Kill Rock one with the eye or whatever. Like, they're kind of badass though, you know what I mean? I imagine, dude. I like making up head cannons based on you guys' mog, man. Big damage plus actually might just go down. Hold on, that Frostfire Bolt. Brutal. Phoenix, it's over. Cheat death. He's got Master burning him down. This is a little bit of damage. Get a shot, but it's over. Trinketed. No, blinked it. Never mind. You got the title of Camel Hoarder too. From the Camel Mount. Okay, I need to know what Camel Mount you guys are talking about in Oldham. Now I'm kind of interested. Nova down on to Cam. What is your name? I don't even know, but he might just die. Cheat death with the cloak. What was that? These rogues are standing no chance to these fire blasts, man. Holy! Them pyros. What is that burst? It's gotta be Meteor or something, right? Kona cold for a second. Might be looking for a defensive, but the rogue is so low. Might just go down. Oh, with the shield. Literally die until the shield reflect. Oh, Bubby, give this man a chance. I don't think he's gonna do it. I think it might be a block here super early for Nutka. Silence? Oh. That chimeric poison in particular is so rough because not only it sounds you, but also it gives you like healing reduction too. So you just did not get a lot of health out of that cauterize, it felt like. Man, stun immediately out of the block, blinks right after, shields available. That's gonna do some damage back to Bubby. He's got him some procs available at least, knocking him back for a second. Nutka might be in a bit of trouble. Alter is trying to keep himself alive, tried to see if he can trank it, but couldn't. So he's still keeping Alter going. This is go for Alter, shifting power. Alter will be huge to reposition here. Invis, I think he lost Ultra. Firebreath does not connect though. Shields are available, does try to remove him. However, that trank shot does give him those removal of the debuffs. Turtle Shell does he have the damage. He's got himself random combust proc, but it's just not enough. Man, that was amazing. Nutka with the fire mage boss. Let's go. We're one mage into the next, however, me's gonna be up next. Just able to shatter through the hunter very, very quickly. What was that damage, man? That was amazing. Holy, Cobra gonna be up next though. Catching that succubus, you see, but a Nova around the corner, dropping an Infernal. Together with Rain of Fire, Bonds of Fall does not quite connect. But Cobra at least able to get himself quite a bit of support from all of those demons. And I think actually Warlock Chaos Bolt from the Gateway, wasn't it? Might have been. Try to see if Mies can maybe get himself an angle here. Try to get a couple instant casts onto Cobra. Brad connects, looking for a stun. Is going to go for a port. Yeah, for Mies, he must know that, yeah, unless you can Nova him, Or even a Nova doesn't really help there either. But unless you're going to keep him in place, like with a poly into a stun, yeah, unless you do that, I don't think you're going to be able to get any big CC on him. You have to be very, very careful with it. Maybe even pelting away at that Succubus may not be the worst, as long as you're able to dodge some of the damage from Cobra, who's still rotating through demons. He's got himself the Chaos Mother, so then the Pit Lord should be up next. And if that thing spawns in good position of Mies, it should do a lot of damage. Whether you get it from like a Shadow Burn, Chaos Bolts, or Rain of Fire, as long as you use a spell to proc that pet, as long as you're close enough too, you should be good. That Succubus does pull Mies way out in the open. He's going to use this positional in order to walk himself out towards the pillar. First aid out for Cobra, unless you can stop it. It looks like it's going to be full recovery for him. Mies dropping down a Ring of Frost to stop the pet. So Cobra might be out here on his own. Blizzard around the corner just to get some additional damage in. Does not have a Mortar Coil for a second here, so he's actually kind of by himself. Port, try to see if he can use that for mobility. Succubus is free, so should be able to get it set up. Meteor needs to be very, very careful. Succubus, stun does connect. Meteor connects, got to shrink it out of Cobra either way. So for me, at least you got a cooldown out of him. Pit Lord joins in, and that thing does damage. Hold on a second, that thing actually does damage now. I mean, at some point it used to do no damage, and then they gave it like a little bit of damage, but now it does even more damage, and that is noticeable. Runation doesn't matter. I was actually wanting to see if Runation does damage, because we've seen it like connect with the guy, but his health bar didn't move. So I was wondering if it actually does anything in PvP. Because wait, invis? Can you just invis the Buds of Hell? I guess you can. I guess you can. Cobra does have himself an Infernal in case he needs it. Mies in a good position. Brett to follow with a stun right after. Try to see if he gets it up versus Cobra. Can't really stop it. Does end up walling it. That is a big defensive out of Cobra. Hold on, for me, that is a decent bit of cooldown commitment. Not the most. They still have other stuff, and cooldown reduction power does mean that you get those cooldowns back way quicker than any other class out there, which is super nice. But for Cobra, man, I mean, it just wall is down. Dark Pact is available. Warlock Healthstone is up. He does have an Infernal, so maybe he can make some kind of a play. But me so far has done a decent bit of trading, and that is so hard against Warlocks for most classes, is trying to find opportunity to trade. Stun on both the pet as well as Cobra. Dropping down the Meteor. That is going to be Dark Pact. This is an opportunity for me to potentially make some damage happen. Mortar Coil right after. Trinkets it. Interrupt on that fear. Cobra does summon up an Overlord, but is looking to get himself out of position. Into an Infernal, slamming down to Mies. Does have a blanket towards Cobra. Can actually just keep the chase. Got the line inside. If anything, Cobra is taking a lot of damage. First aid. I don't know if you can drop down a Blizzard behind the pillar in order to stop it. Anything would help you. Succubus catching Mies halfway through, as he's going to be able to poke out for a second, get some damage in. Looking to Chain of Fear, does get locked out on it with a Bonds of Fall to follow him. Can still get some damage in. Mies is in an okay spot right now, as long as they don't break the bonds. Into a Reflect and potential Spell Stealer maybe. Incinerates, don't fly back. It looks like you were trying to Spell Stealer, but he just timed out. Not a lot of health onto Mies, however. With Infernals chasing you. Not feeling good, Bolt. Oh, unless you block right there. And I felt like he was trying to Cold Snap block, but just ended up pressing into the global instead. That is unfortunate. Sabo charging in versus Cobra. He's got two Juggernauts to fight through, Cobra and Saya, so this ain't going to be easy for him whatsoever. Into a Bolt, Mortar Coil, Ruination. Does shrink it out of it. Walling his damage off, getting knocked back, though, leaping in into a gateway. He can't catch up to the man. He just burned through a decent bit of mobility, but so far Cobra is just making sure to keep his sway, keep his distance from him the entire time, keeping him in arm's reach the whole time over. Does get himself Mortar Coil very, very soon. Port is available. Reflect can technically be used to actually stop Sabo from being able to cast at him. So actually you could Reflect and just double bolt him if you wanted to. You can actually do that. Yeah, if you got double bolt, does have an Overlord charging in. Not going to be able to connect while Sabo is underground. Number wall for Sabo, however, as well as the Bulwark Totem, no longer in play. Does have the Earth Elemental stopping the first aid. That ain't bad. Succubus catching him on that Sunder, however. Reflect up. He's just using a Reflect in order to reflect damage back to Sabo. Not really trying to set up a big fear combo or double casual combo. Sabo does break out of the CC for a second. Got himself a Primordial Storm available in case he wants to use it. I don't know if he wants to use it on a Succubus though. He might. Maybe. Is he a Tempest? He's got to be a Tempest Shaman, right? It's got to be a Tempest Shaman. I feel like he just needs a couple of Tempests. But with that Infernal going to be around the corner, does break. No, does not break the totem. That is going to be a full stun. Cobra does juke out a kick, however. Chaos Bolt 1. Does he get double bolt into a knockback by Saba? into a Tempest right after, trading big hits, but it's gonna be both with Ruination. Oh, Ruination, look at that. Did Ruination even connect? I feel like Sabo's Cell didn't even move. Can somebody explain me how Ruination works in PvP? Because I feel like it actually does damage in PvE. But in PvP, it feels like it just doesn't do anything. Like, is this meant to be just like a little tickle that spawns an imp? Because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to spawn an imp next to you, right? Or does it? I don't even know. I see you have double little infernos, but no imps. Lasso by Sabo, but Cobra does take it. My goodness, dude. Cobra is holding the fort down. It does nothing. Is that confirmed? West says it does nothing. Confirmed, it's useless. Into a silencer, the Cobra does board grip right after before he goes around the pillar. Cobra might be under pressure here. Oh, Leo got himself buffs up for Frost Strike as well as Obliterate. So if you can catch up to Cobra, you might be able to make some damage happen. Focusing down on Succubus, gripping Cobra right as soon as he gets in line of sight. Succubus catching him for a second, reflect up for Cobra for a moment, trying to go for Chain of Ice, but actually reflects it back to himself. Ledgeborn is active for Cobra or Leo, so you can't be feared. Is going to be able to wipe him out before the bolt connects. Well done, well done. Messiah gonna be the last one over for the team too. Holy, gotta go through Leo, gotta go through Envy. I think it's gonna be a really team effort for Leo and Envy here. They gotta find a way to both, not together jump Saya, but find a way to wear out his cooldowns to bring their own team a victory. So for Envy, I think he's gonna have to make sure he's got himself a clean getaway through Saya. If he could Blaze Storm his immediate go, and then disengage as soon as Saya uses AD immunity, maybe that could work. For Leo, I think his job right now is to try to see if he can get a bubble out of Saya. Because if he can get a bubble out of Saya, that'd be golden. Because Envy right now is gonna have to be the one here with the finishing touches for this duel. Unless Leo can just win this. Because Leo and Saya dueled each other before, and Leo has won those duels in the past. It's not easy, but he has won them. So usually he walks into a duel like full health, no dampening, no nothing. And with Saya Dawnlight damage over time playstyle, you could just kind of like play like a Feral Druid, put a dot on Leo and then walk away. Let him melt. Does walk in with an AMS before the dots connect. Saya's immediate taking damage. Hold on. What is this damage Saya's taking? Immediate immunity to magic damage. Leo, a good portion of his damage is frost, so he actually has to play super defensive. Drop it out of dome. Stun right after. Does go for a trinket. Saya can still take physical damage, so Deathstrix is still going to be able to connect. Stun to follow. Try to see if you can get a bubble out of Saya. That's a lot of damage. Bubble out of Saya. Leo does have Death Pact. At the very least, you can still use Death Pact. You just got to live. Death Pact just to give him some more health to work with. Saya does not want to fight this at all. He's getting slammed down by the riders. They're going to do a decent bit of damage. Leo cannot connect for a while. I don't know if he's got AMS. If he's got AMS, he might be able to live it. AMS last second. Dodging any kind of stuns. But he doesn't have a lot of health to work with. He has a human ratio to break out of a Hodge. So at least he's got that. So maybe he can turn it around versus Saya. Maybe he can still make something work here. Saya does not have Wake of Ashes for a second. Using Dawn Lights on himself to live. Try to see if he catch up to Leo. AMS. Oh, next hit was going to be deadly though. Leo does sacrifice a ghoul for a second, picking up whatever health he can. He's got another big go. If he can use that together with AMS, he'll be golden. He wants to break that regen, but he knows he can't. AMS, Ledgeborn is active. Is this an opportunity? Is this going to be where he just tries to make a big play? Blind onto Saya. Does technically have offensive cooldowns. Silence Titan does stun him for a second. Leo needs whatever health he can. Trying to see if he can break past it. Saya is so low. Envy, this is your chance. He doesn't have a bubble. You gotta break out of this immediately. You gotta Blaze Storm, bud. No, blind Saya. Oh, he has laying hands. Saya's gonna get a full health bar unless you can stop it. Nope. Maybe just forbearance. But team effort paid off. Leo broke past Saya's defenses enough for Image to land the kill. That was a team effort right there. Well done for both of you. Cobra pick it up too. Nutka pick it up too with a mage blasting rogues. I need to watch that again in my free time. I need to go watch that clip of you blasting the rogues, maybe frame it on a wall somewhere. Can you frame a GIF? GIF? Whatever you call it? That was so good. I need to watch that one again. Let's get another go, boys. That was great. That was a good set of duels. They need to see CC and survival tools. Varied kids, but DPS and WoW PvP has no impact at all. Threat and healing, you get it focused on the free players do it. What? I feel like some classes win just on damage alone. Are we both ready? Yeah, we're ready, boys. Ready. What do we do? 12 run? Let's do a 12 run. Promise you won't see Ruination do anything tonight. Maybe. Talent skills which lower healing receive some. Wait, what? You just have locks, test the Ruination, other opponent stands still, let him hit. Dude, honestly, might Maybe. I just don't know if it does anything, man. It's supposed to be like a big meteor that in PvE content, it hits very hard. In PvP, however, I feel like it's a meteor that slams down and then like the health bars never move. So it's just like, is it just like a free soul shard spender? Because it doesn't cost any soul shards, but like, does it do anything? Doesn't feel like for sure. I feel like tank should CC and stomp DPS. And DPS should have varied means of consistent burns. It feels good. Wait, what? Are there any anti-heal tactics about tanks have a vital role in RPS? No, tanks are just defensive. Yeah, no. I feel like tanks, Blizzard always has a hard time balancing tanks in PvP, so I'm actually okay with them removing tanks from PvP for the most part. They only have a hard time balancing classes as is. Tanks are just an extra layer that they don't really need. Good choice. Would it be cool if tanks have a specific role? No, yeah, sure, but like, I don't know what role they would have, like compared to like taking a role away from classes that already exist. Cobra versus Leo, a little bit of a rematch here. Though last year I'm pretty sure Leo did take Cobra down. Was it? Is that what it was? Might have been. Port out for Cobra's. Leo did get himself lots of damage. And notice Leo is not running the big one-shotted build anymore. He's not running the big Remorseless Winter Pillar of Frost combo. He's running the normal Pillar of Frost combo with the Riders. So his damage profile is very different. It's very not as escapable. Because normally it just, you know, completely slows you down. But it's a ton of pulsating frost damage. But if you have mobility, you can easily escape it, and it does give you a longer window for like before you can go for Pillar of Frost stuff. But the buff to Frost Strike and Obliterate, I think he's trying to see if he can leverage it. Does have a Chaos Mode spawning in for Cobra. He's golden. Reflect is actually helping against Leo for a second, dropping down a dome for a second. Can go for a bit of damage here. Cobra with a wall, able to get himself a couple of casts or two. Chaos Bolt off of Mortical. Second bolt right after Cobra. Oh. Does get some damage into Leo, does go for an interrupt on Shadow. Blind to follow, get himself a Rider available too. That's going to give him a little bit extra damage to work with. Passive as well as active with an additional Death and Decay onto Cobra. I think also is a slow with it, right? Am I wrong about that? Maybe. As a Leo, he's trying to see if he can catch up some healing behind the pillar. Look at those Death Strikes. If he can actually give himself a few Death Strikes behind the pillar, he actually could do okay. He actually can give himself a little bit of survivability out of it. Drain life out for Cobra and Leo, trying to see if he can find himself an angle. But he's just kind of chilling back here with the Succubus, waiting out for a second, man. Waiting out for a little bit here. Low 25% of his HP. What are we talking about? The Ruination or Death Strike? Dude, Death Strikes actually, I like how they actually kind of sort of feel okay. Even oh, whoa, hold on, wait a second. I was trying to see if I could remember a message I got from a guy the other day. I was trying to remember who it was from and what they said. But I was watching Colbrecht's Hellbar. Look at that Warlock Hellstone though. Just completely recovered a lot of that damage with the Mortical on top of it. Fear right after. Blind to follow him. Leo tried to see if he can delay his own interrupts. While the shield holds, Cobra actually, while blinded, he doesn't take that much damage. Or he doesn't have the shield thing break. Look at the Ruination. Like it did nothing. It's a big old meteor. It didn't feel like it did anything at all. Cobra does knock Leo back. Is going to go for a port into a gateway as Leo tries to see if he can connect. Summoning up a fresh new Saya is going to be able to get himself an extra pet. So for Leo, as long as he has an AMS to stop that pet, or even kicks it, which is exactly what he does, is actually lands a kick. He stops a lot of the damage. What is your ghoul doing? There goes Nazgrim. Come on, Nazgrim. Get him. Twilight Dev connecting. Hold on a second. Cobra, I think, is down. Leo does survive it. Just Death Striking for life. Holy, the rogue is going to be up next. What is it? Camp Bella? We got to go with Bella. Bella the rogue. I actually like that. Disarm onto Leo. Charge him back in order to get him some Shadow Strikes in back to back. Try to keep the damage rolling on the DK. Cheap shots, a big eviscerate does connect. Leo's health does kind of rip apart. Death back being used here just to get himself a little bit extra health to work with. But he still continues to get attacked by the rogue. Chased down with advantage right after. Trying to make sure that the Death Knight does not get himself an easy out with Morgan available though. It should keep the rogue in combat. And Leo might just die to the bleeds. Cheap shot, I think it's over. Yeah, no, it's over. The rogue just needed a bit of a lockdown. As soon as the DK is out of options, it's just done. It's just done. Ruination hit for 1.85 mil. So Ruination did connect there. It feels like it doesn't do a lot. Like, I don't see health bars really move. So maybe it does do damage. Maybe, did it hit like a pet or something? Raz, did it hit like a pet or something? Because it doesn't feel like it does anything. Numbers wise, I'm good that it actually gets some numbers behind it. Good it actually hit something. I just don't know if it hit Leo there, honestly. Cam does, or Bella does get hit with a root for a moment. Nowhere really to go with a stone back-to-back out for Sabo. It's just going to be a total pressure double stone with a thunder. Oh, just wiped him out. Oh, cheat death. Just ignored it completely. What was that? Picking up the other ice plus is going to be up next from one row to the next though. Sapping him up. Does not have the same combo, but if you can get yourself another stun lock combo like that, it's going to be a trinket out of Sabo with a knockback for a plus. It's just going to be an easy reset. Now you just need to wait it out until stuns are back up. Didn't use a lot of cooldowns either. Easy to go for another setup versus Sabo. Sabo did what looks like burned a bulwark totem. That's a wall, but no more trinket. So that's going to put him in a weird spot right now. Hook point hit for 0 damage though. Yeah, I did a 1.3. Oh, okay. So it can't do damage. It just like, it feels like your health bar doesn't move like ever. You know what I mean? Actually doesn't move. Gonna be getting shots out onto Sabo plus. It's gonna get hit with a stun, but it is gonna be able to cloak shadows in. So for Sabo, he needs to find another way to live here. Burrow down for a second. This rogue ain't giving you any opportunity to recover whatsoever. Steps right back to you. You do have a primordial setup, but it's just not enough. Plus, he's just going to keep the pressure rolling in until he takes you out. Sap onto Envy. Zerker rages out of it. Spear down onto Plus. Does have a disarm. So you can just live it. Envy just back it up for a second. And try to go for another charge. Yeah, try to go for another charge. Blind to follow. Does get himself a quick strike out of the blind or mid that blind. But unless you get yourself a leap, I don't think you're going to be able to connect with the rogue again. Eyes are not available. So for Plus, that looks like a clean reset. Ew. That was going to be a good leap. That was going to be actually a good leap that was going to get Plush into combat, but the sap midair cancels out the damage on the end of that leap completely. So it actually is a bit rough. It's going to be doing damage with the Plush though. Hold on a second. Smoke Bomb just trying to create some cover. Your enemy just got a little bit of damage with the Plush, but that damage was like enough to start putting some pressure on the rogue. Hold on a second. Plush having to go for a bit of a reset there. Some bursts. Eyes are available, so Envy could potentially swing over to the eyes. A Blade Storm in here in case he finds Plush, but ain't nowhere to be found, unfortunately. First aid for Plush, picking up a lot of healing, though. Picking up a ton of healing off of those bandages. Eyes are back up, and Envy, I think he didn't really notice the Plush was all the way on the far side. But should be able to find him, should be able to get on top of him. Has Zerker Rage to break out of a sap, so you shouldn't be held in CC. You can just immediately disarm. Immediate disarm, and that's a trade for a disarm for Envy. As Plush is building up some damage. Envy seeing the damage on Plush could have parried this actually. Might have not been a bad move because it's going to be flagellation blades, everything available. That can be a huge eviscerate though. Oh, the damage! Yeah, I feel like as soon as you see a flagellation, you probably follow up with the shadow blades. Parry there, right into a kidney would have been amazing. That's only if you're like countering cooldowns 1v1, man. You know what I mean? UI looks clean. It's not my UI. This is Blizzard base UI for Spectator. I wish I could say that this is my UI here. This is not custom. This is base Blizzard Spectator UI, my guy. I wish I could take the credit. Polymorph out onto Plush. As Mies got himself the Shatter combo, he needs to just keep Plush at bay at a distance. That orb with the Blizzard is going to be able to connect. Nova down. Does go for the melt to break past the Ray of Frost, which is massive. Plush still continued to get shattered down with those flurries, and whatever damage you follow up after those flurries, being Frostfire, that is just so much extra damage dropping down. If it's here, Plush actually could be in trouble. Blinking past him, gouge for a second. Plush might have been able to get away. I don't think Mies has another blink for a second. As long as he can dodge the next Blizzard, he's okay. Hey, he's fine. He's fine. Mies got himself fantastic instant cast around the corner though. He layered down and maximized those flurries as best as he could, picking up the ice. He knows exactly where Plush is at. Blizzard is going to catch the rogue out in the open with a random Nova too, which is not going to feel great either. Shoot the power out from Mies with another Blizzard. As Plush trying to get himself a little bit of that healing. Cloak and Shadow's coming out for Plush soon. Vanish is also available. May have to use that Vanish very defensively. Double Dance is available. I don't know if you just do cheap shot into Mies, or maybe cheap shot into a kidney shot just to lock it down for longer. Maybe, actually, yeah, just slightly longer. I don't even know if it's worth it actually. I don't know if it's worth it. He does have blades, he does have everything. If you go flagellation and everything available here, kidney shot, this could be an opportunity for you to make some damage happen. Breath is going to go for trinket. Stun. Plush could maybe pre-evasion would have been amazing. No, me so cheat death. Oh, it was enough. I said no because I was like, oh no. I actually looked at the rogue. I'm like, man, That's the only way you could have lived that is pre-evasion and feint. Because evasion would give you a 20% DR against magic damage because you are Deathstalker. Unless you're playing the wrong talent, which I highly doubt you are. It is going to be a silence short onto me, trying to go for a breath, but Bubby, keeping his distance here as a Beastmaster Hunter, forcing Mies into an ice block while the pets chomp away at the block of ice. Even a bee in there too, dude. There's a bunch of dinos, raptors, a little lone bee, and as soon as he breaks out of a block, it is GG. Nutka's going to be up next as a Fire Mage dropping down big meteor, big damage. This cast onto Bubby, does go for a blink as he gets out of a stun. Bubby got himself a bit of a wall here. Turtle Shell giving himself a bit of cover too. 10% damage reduction, I think it is. Pretty sure. Feint for just a quick second. Nutka with a quick breath onto Bubby, but oh, Nutka might be looking at a block here. The Bubby man here, dude. He's got some damage. Playing the pack leader. He got lots of big kill command damage. Those pets are doing numbers right now. Stun on that cooldown reduction, which is unfortunate. Bubby just needs to find a way to remove the shields off of Nutka as soon as he sees it. Does take it. Oh, but Nutka does take it. No shot. He wins this. I can't believe it. I don't think Saiya's going to give a chance, is he? No. Looks like he is giving you an auto duel. No block. No caught. All Nutka can do is just channel everything at Saya and play super defensively. I think that's about all he can really do. Big CC plays is what he really needs right now. Actual massive CC play. Oh, that is so clutch. I am impressed. I am impressed by how that whole duel went down between the mage and the hunter. Nutka, this is your chance here. I don't know what you could do against the paladin, but this could be your opportunity, my guy. He's giving you a chance. As much of a chance as you can get. Maybe channel one cooldown reduction, one thing of shifting power, just to get yourself some cooldowns back a little quicker. Right? Shields up, one channel. Saya just charging at you. Immediate Nova out onto Saya. I don't even know where that Nova comes from. Does spell steal the ring of Hand of Freedom. Saya trying to see if he can stay on top of Nutka. Does go for a trick out of the blind into a full Dawnlight. Immunity out Nutka. I don't know what he can do in this situation. Shift the power to get some cooldowns back. I don't know if you got to reverse some blinks. You need something, anything. I think it's over. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as he got full immunity, there's just nothing you can do. He's just able to walk around and just beat you up the entire time. It is rough, dude. Man. Got ourselves another one going here, boys. Yeah. Uno mas. Here we go. Here we are. Blizzard made Arena 5 seconds faster, including all 3 roles in offensive and defensive positions. You had UI like this on my bar. People with total popularity. Wait, you mean like 5s or you mean 5 seconds? I don't really know. With all 3 roles, offensive and defensive positions. I mean, all roles do have some offensives and defensives to some degree. I guess the Cataclysm, everybody had some damage and a little bit of healing. Like Rogues, I felt like Rogues had a ton of healing. Well, I don't know. I feel like DPS classes should DPS, right? And healers should heal. I feel like it all depends who you ask, man. All right, Johnny as well as Leo. Let me know when you guys are ready. We get another one up and running. Did I save that one? 708, 9. Okay, well now it's saved. I think it means 5 times faster. They did have the games faster. It was called Shadowlands, and people hated it. Like the game, like people would die in 0.2 seconds. We did have that. People hated it. Need one listed. All right, boys, we listed. Need one more order for the team EU. They have Uno Mas here with Johnny and Kempachi. Ooh, about 80k. The Blizzard had 1v1 rated and removed healers and tanks from 1v1 2v2 PvP with Brock. I think to some degree, yeah. I feel like if you had 2v2 double DPS, no tanks, no healers, or 1v1 that were like tuned for 1v1, I think that would help as well. I think it'd be awesome. Let me go get, let me queue up the game and I'll get good water real quick. Because I am thirsty. And no queue times. That's the problem, is the queue times, man. I know every competitive game is going to have queue times, but like, you really got to do everything you can to reduce that so people can just instantly jump in and play. You just got to find a way for people to instant jump in and play. That's all people want. They just want to play. And queue times and having to wait during certain hours is just rough. Let me get water real quick, boys. Derby, 2 seconds. We are back. What you think? Alrighty. Which got ourselves Envy over for the team one, ready to go. We got Leo, we got ourselves Rick, Nice, and Sabo. Over on team two, we got ourselves Bobby the boy. We got us a Cole, but yeah, Sai gonna be first up, immediately rushing out. Looks like it's him versus Rick, and Rick already got himself a bunch of demons. Look at him doubling and in fact tripling down on those Vile Fiends, dude. He's got himself a Vile Fiend, Charhound, Gloomhound, all of those Vile Fiends at once. Trying to go for a bit of that magic immunity to get with the spell ward. It looks like magic immunity got him broken through really quickly. What was that? Sai getting hit by a knockdown since he got himself a Fel Lord, trying to see if he can just rage him, but it's still having to walk in for that Fel Lord whenever possible just to get some melee damage in. Axe toss, Fel Lord, is it dead or is it stunned? Fear to follow, Fel Lord does not connect. However, Sai's health is actually taking a bit of a hit right now. Walking by a Fel Lord as he despawns. Rick with a port. Does he have a gateway or does he already use one? Just trying to see if he can maximize range versus Saya, but I don't really know what he could do. Trying to go for a knock, does not quite knock him off the platform. Stun to follow him. Rick with the wall, may not be enough. Does he have any stops right now for Saya? He needs something, anything. Dread Stalkers are getting summoned in. So at least he can get himself some decent damage onto Saya. As long as those pets continue staying in melee range, he'll be good to go. Mortal Coil does still have Bubble. Overlord charging in. Axe toss to follow with a Charhound and a Tyrant. That's going to be a lot of demons. Saya's going to be under a ton of pressure. Rick just needs to find a way to live. Port out. I don't know if he's got another gateway. I think it's over. Yeah, Saya steals it. Just takes it right before he gets himself out of the Bubble still available. I don't know if he's laying hands though. Has he? He might have. Blind onto Saya. Does Leo have the damage he's looking for? He's got himself mounted up, ready to go, full burst, everything available. Saya with the Shield of Vengeance. Does he have Leo in hands? It's going to be meter bubble. See that silence? He has to go for a bubble. Leo just got to live now. And now this is where Saya is just going to try to see if he can punish him while he's immune. Absolute immunity. No healing. No nothing needed. Just going to continue hammering the damage back to the guy. Got himself a charge of Dawnlight at the very least rolling on him. So he's got himself lots of healing to catch up here quite a decent bit. Stun to Leo does go for a trinket with the human racial. And Leo just can't catch up to Saya. That consecration slowing him down quite a decent bit. Leo's health is also not looking that good. Death Pact is available. He could technically use it right now in order to save off the damage. AMS and just ahead. Actually, free proc AMS, I think, from the Riders. I don't think it was actually his AMS that time around. Might still have one. Into a Lynchborn, but he gets stunned by Wake of Ashes. No, Leo! When you're Lynchborn, you are technically considered undead. And Wake of Ashes stuns demons and undead. So that is super unfortunate for Leo. Oh, man. Lynchborn still has that quirk of technically making undead, which does prevent polymorphs, I think. I don't think you can polymorph undead creatures as a mages or anything like that. Certain effects don't work on undeads either. I think charms into a grip. Does he take it? Saya under pressure. No more bubble. Does he have a lay on hands is the question. Because if he doesn't, he could go down here. Does go for Dawnlight to heal himself. I think it was a double heal. So he's getting himself lots of healing. Look at that recovery, dude. Leo, all he can do is Death Pact just to give himself more health to work with. But Saya just needs a couple more hammers taking him out. My God, dude. He still is out of immunities, however. So Envy, technically, if you get yourself a proper setup, might be able to make some work here. Got him some big damage. Saya with mobility, tried to stun him. I think Saya just trying to die. I think, yeah, Saya just trying to die. I think Saya didn't realize, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna give him a chance here. I could play, but yeah. Nah, Envy does end up slaying it with Bella gonna be up next. Charging him, trying to get a quick Shadow Strike, get a shot into a trinket by Envy. Parry up right after. Was that Shadow Blade? That was Blade. So he's trying to trade cooldown for cooldown versus Bella. And Blade with a parry, not a bad trade because it's a 1.5 minute versus 1.5 minute. Perfectly traded. And now that you have it coming off cooldown, as you see your parry coming back off of CD, that's how you know that Shadow Blade is coming back off CD. You know what I mean? Little things like that. It's going to be big damage. Bella might just be in trouble. Blind to follow in the Mexican range. Cheap shot is up in the yard. I think he might just be dead. Bella, you did something, anything. Oh, take it out by Envy, however. Unfortunate. Plus, is going to be up next. Envy does get himself a little bit of health recovery with that second wind. It's still marked. I kind of wish, wasn't there a thing? I'm pretty sure it bugged each other out, but wasn't there a thing where rogues used to be able to like play off of each other's death mark for a bit of time? I think it was. I think they would cancel each other out though. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe they just could build and consume it together. something like that. I'm pretty sure a while back, like a beta, is going to plus taking out Envy. Just a full Shadow Blade, full burst going. If you have nothing for it, it is deadly. Brutal amounts of damage. Very, very rough. WTF is wrong with this map? What do you mean? Down sewers with a big wall of water and boxes? It's an interesting map. I always like this map, actually. It's a good 2v2 map, in my opinion. I don't know about 3v3. I feel like it's maybe a little small at times, but I personally like it. I just don't see that much in solos, at least for me. Full stone into plus into a gouge, trying to see if he can reposition. Me's got himself a little bit of cooldown reduction. This plus trying to see if he can break out of it. Does it with the flurry, catching the rogue. That is massive. And a couple instant casts that follow up the flurry are gonna shatter. That is huge. Blizzard down. Does it catch it? Does catch him. Plus with that step though. How does he avoid the blizzard? I'm actually surprised. That doesn't even put him in combat either. Frozen Orb avoids it. Blizzard also avoids it. That was amazing. Does get himself a proper step. Cheap shot. Smoke bomb. Knowing that Mies is going to walk out of it. Does freeze him, however, while he is mid-dance. This is going to be an opportunity for Mies to go for full shatter combo. Ray of Frost does have advantage for it. That bomb is going to explode. It's going to actually, no, it doesn't. Never mind. I forgot you need to line of sight for the bomb to explode, which is so weird that it works like that. How you need to actually be able to look at the target for it to explode. Not a fan. Not a fan, personally. Big damage onto plus, though. I think it might be lights. He does have cloak. Oh, yeah. Cheat death. I was hoping maybe, like, I was thinking maybe Mies could break past the cheat death and kill him very, very quickly. Because plus is just playing with fire. It does get knocked and then take it out, though. Man, that is so rough. That is rough, dude. Playing, trusting a cheat death in PvP, I think is some work, too. That is not easy. Like a salve over the mouth, dude. That thing was gorgeous. Oh, my God. If you guys haven't picked it up, man, this is the week to do it. Or if you missed some of the parts from Strowman, pick it up next week, man. Get your parts from Augermar. They're not difficult. You just got to pick up the part in engineering building. And then I think you got to do the wisdom, Valley of Wisdom and Valley of Honor on at least one mask, and you get the other parts. And then you're good. Like, Augermar parts are really not that bad. I think Strowman is the one that has a couple of parts for you to obtain, too. Maybe there's some with the Valley of Spirits and the Drag, too. But, like, if you just do it clear with the one mask, you should be good to go. Well, clear with one mask, I think, is very doable. Frostbomb down for Mies. Cobra does not have a reflect anymore. Does port out, trying to see if he can deny any of the shatter follow-up combos. They just gotta let the Infernal, as well as the Succubus, do a bit of damage back behind the pillar. That Infernal is gonna do a significant bit of damage. Try to see if he can freeze it. Does get to freeze it. But the damage, he does get to stop it for a moment. Big heal out for Cobra. And Mies going for a bit of cooldown reduction. But that Infernal is persistent. With the Succubus trying to keep it in place and the Infernal gets some freebie damage, that is also work right here. Cobra does get to position, could potentially go for a port. Big damage on Mies, however, might be looking for a block. I think it's a block here. Does try to go for an invis, but that Mortal Coil catching you in place, though. With those portals still blaring down damage at you, you do have to block it. Not a lot of healing at 40% dampening, unfortunately. Fear immediately suits to a Pit Lord, just blasting you through. Try to go for a stun, does land it, shrink it, but Cobra with the reflect. There's just not much you can do to answer. Sabo is the last one left over for the Team 1. Has to find a way through Cobra, as well as Bubby. Cobra is going to be his tough matchup, but Bubby ain't no pushover either. Got him so big zaps. Primordial Storm is up. Is going to focus the attention onto the Succubus. Actually, it's huge because that could actually help you fish for Tempest procs, and that could be massive. And Cobra is sacrificing the health just to keep the Succubus in play. Looks like you can try to see if you can drop in. Was that a Tremor Totem to break out of a Succubus? Because you left, got Succubus induced for a second, and then broke out of it. Into a kick onto Cobra, but doesn't quite connect. Got him some big ascent, massive damage in the ready. He's having to turn the attention to the Succubus immediately with those wind strikes. He needs to get some damage onto Cobra. Lightning do connect those three bolts. We're doing some damage just now. Bonzo fell while you're locking down his ascendants. Reflect for a second so you can't really kick him, leap and run over. But he's just slowed down. He just can't really go anywhere. He's just crippled behind the pillar by that Succubus. Into an Overlord charging in quite a decent bit of damage. Shadow Fury around the corner does connect, but Cobra is not in a good position. Can at least knock the Succubus back for a second. And all Sabo needs to do, I feel like, is lock down Cobra with a stun, with a totem, and then he's golden. Try to go for roots. Does it connect? Mortal Coil does connect. That is going to be a Fear. No, Fear does not last long at all. Leaping in, there's going to be a port. Cobra, does he have himself a gateway? I don't think he does. Primordial does get used by Sabo, and that storm might have hit the Succubus, if anything. Bolt 1, do you have a double bolt? Try to go for a Fear Furrow down to try to avoid the Bolt and the Chaos Mother, as that is a lot of damage. Reflect down for Cobra. You could potentially just hard cast and Sabo. Sabo trying to see if we can back up out of there. Thunder for a second, look for a heal. Reflect, it's going to be some healing for Cobra. You got to stop it as fast as you can. Sabo looking for a heal of his own if at all possible. Can he do it? To a Pit Lord, you just want to avoid it. That Pit Lord is attacking the totem. That Pit Lord has nothing else to hit, so it just hits the totem. I don't even know if it can do a lot of damage to the totem. Looks like totem is still standing. Okay, so confirmed. A random wooden totem is greater than a Pit Lord. The Burning Legion is a joke, man. Big bolt out for Cobra. Succubus catching Sabu. Isn't going to be enough, though. Just needs one more big hit. Incendiary might just do it with an Overload charging in. Big axe slam. And it just go down. Oh. 2 for Cobra. 2 for Envy and 2 for Saya. Well done, well done. Man, them Warlock Diabolus buffs, I feel like a noticeable. Chaos Mother, Pit Lord, Overlord. Overlord in particular, I think did a lot of damage. I think he did really, really well. Let's get another one going, boys, yeah? Uno mas, uno mas. Looks like Johnny's immediately ready. Is Bush ready? Looks like can take a walk. 3 gives in a row facing mages. Yeah, for real, man. I saw. Ready? Beautiful. We are good. Or has been easier than Stormwind so far. Mike, what class do you play? I found Orc harder, dude. Rexar is a pain in the tuckus. Let me be honest here. Actual pain in my ass. It's how? If they added 1-on-1 to PvP, I would actually PvP to hell with team plays, but of course that will never happen. On Hunter, like BM, or are we talking about like Marksman? Because I kind of struggle with does Rexar attack your pets? Does he boards attack like the Hunter pets? BM. Dude, as a rogue, I feel like I'm taking way too much with the full 8 mask run from Rexar. That shit hurts. And then the boards, when they die, above the boss with the Vengeance mask. I don't know how you do it. Unless maybe like you fainted. He attacks pets, but do the boards attack the pets? Because I guess having a Rexar attack your pet is better than you. Especially you have to watch out for though. So at least your pets are you're splitting the attention with the pets. They don't attack the pets. Okay, so you gotta focus the boars. But I guess you could feint it and kick them. Boars attack you. You probably can set up like a binding shot as the boar's charge will probably get stunned immediately. Yeah, maybe a hunter has it just easier. As a rogue, I struggle, dude. I have to drop an orb, kill a boar, kill boar, kill boar, kill boar. Pop evasion and hope Rexar doesn't kill me. That's all I can do, dude. Because he slams my health bar directly for 1.5 million with every auto when he's got 4 stacks of vengeance. How do you... I don't find that guy easy at all. I'd rather do Stormwind. I don't think there's a single boss in Stormwind that I'll find hard. Like Shaw, just face away from eyeballs. Dwarf, just kick the bombs. Trade District, I can just vanish the chain and then it breaks it, so I don't have to worry about it. Mage is the only top one. Too many ads and stupid pets make targeting weird in the game. Yeah, too many pets and all those kicks and all the stuff to manage, and the knockback from the boards. Like if it was just a charge without a knockback, at least I'd be able to orientate. But then you deal with the madness too that could disorient you. First time with 5 masks, win for Rexar last boss and get wrecked. Wait, you got as last boss? Yeah, Rexar's last boss I think is the play if you're trying to manage sanity, but Rexar is so tough. Yeah, I start the fight, drop an orb, do damage to Rexar. EU again tomorrow? Yes, we are plush. We are in EU again tomorrow. Let me queue this up real quick. Second. We haven't done Black or Cold. Sorry, I was chatting with the chat. If they want to streamline moves, utility, make like 3 moves between capstones for variety. You mean like rotationally? I don't think our class, like I say, like we should simplify classes. Because I don't want our classes to be like baby easy either. Like I want some like uniqueness to them. I don't want them to be complex for the sake of complex, like Outlay is a good example of that. But like, I like our classes to feel unique. There's gotta be a hook. A unique hook that's fun to play around with and that's kind of skillful. You know? Unless you're talking about something else. Capstones for variety. Like, you think capstone should be a new ability? I don't think it always has to be a new ability. Sometimes it can just be like a powerful passive that changes the way you play your class. I feel like that can be on its own pretty fun. As well as I feel like make it spread harder, get through the storm. Things like more spread out can also seems quick and organic. I guess so, yeah. Yeah, I think if you get gun shields though, you can get from one side of storm into the other very, very quickly. But I feel you on that. Which. Bobby gonna be first one up. I don't think we had Bobby go first ever. With me, he's gonna be a mage versus the hunter. And me's already got a bunch of shatter procs into Bobby. Block really, really early just to break out of CC. Trinkets as well. I'm not sure if that's just a panic trinket block or if it's like a planned trinket block. Trying to go for stun into Bobby is gonna be body shot, able to blink out of it though. And Bubby is having to use Turtle Shell here really, really early. These two are throwing out defensive cooldowns ridiculously quick. Big damage out for Bubby. Got himself lots of pets quick and short to the Mace. All those pets surrounding him just needs more kill commands to break through and get some damage going. Mace might be under a lot of trouble. But Bubby dropping down a big meteor. Feign death for a second. Mace health is so low. I don't know if he can block it. Still got hypothermia. I think it might be done. And Bubby just take it. Oh, when you block after you come out of a block, or I think after you block, you get a debuff called hypothermia, so you can't block too early. I don't think he could block there for a second. I think he was pressing it, but there's just not much he can do. Bobby does it up, overpowering him with all those BM pets. You know, as strong as BM has been for PvP this season and last season, we don't really see them like dominating that much in duels. Like they usually are like a hunter, and all survival BM marksman, all of them are okay at duels. They're not amazing. I feel like you usually take a little bit more effort than most classes to play in 1v1 in particular. But yeah, they're amazing in comp-based games and group-based stuff. But like in 1v1, you would think they'll be busted, but they're not. Knock into a stun onto Envy as he goes in for a charge. Leaps right over, disarm to follow. Does get hit with the chimeric poison. Spear down onto Bubby, but your damage is being reduced by a decent bit. Does go for a shatter onto Bubby's health. It's going to be parried together with Blazer. Bubby might be in a lot of trouble. Does drop down a binding, but it's not going to be able to stop him with a scatter for a second. Dropping down trap. The charge trap somehow activates. I feel like the trap was behind you, not in front of you. How did that even activate? Intro freeze the trap as you charge in. What are these traps? Twice now he's got a trap, like a knockback on a charge and a freeze on a charge. That'd be so good. Envy super, super low. Stun onto Bubby. Got him very, very low too. Got himself a quick kill shot. Is that another kill command? Oh, Bubby does it. I'm taking it with Sabo charging it. Does not want to give Bubby a chance here at all. Just roots him in place. Sunder right after into a stun. Bubby goes down. I think literally got slapped around by the tentacle. He literally got hentai there for a second. Did you see that tentacle spawn behind him there for a moment? I think Sabo was just deceived the entire time. Tentacle just hit him, slapped him really, really quickly, slapped him right on the cheeks, and it was done. Well, Plunge is going to be up next versus Sabo is going to back up out of the during the eyes. I literally got hentai because Sabo was CC'd. It wasn't a scatter. He could have been doing damage. Maybe like a flame shock did some damage to him, but I doubt it. That's 100%, dude. Hentai somehow just spawned out of nowhere, just slapped him with the cheeks. Big damage out. Sabo having to pop defenses here versus Plush into a disarm. Plush having to rotate everything as well. Vanish does get used together with the Cloak of Shadows. That is a bulwark on Sabo, I'm pretty sure, with a Lust. Still holding on to Ascend. I don't know if he wants to use Ascend under Plush. He might have to. But I don't think as a shaman you really need to. Last time he just needed a primordial double stun totem, and that was enough to take down the rogue. And then a quick sunder in there too for a bit of just a little bit of slapping damage. That did enough. Root onto Plush adds to sap Sabo. Trying to see if he catch a reset, but he knows exactly where he's at. Resap to follow. Root does break. Unfortunately, the totem does not keep the rogue in combat. Otherwise, for Sabo, he would have been able to keep up with the rogue the entire time. But he doesn't have a trinket. Plush has a trinket, however, so it's going to be, I think, a little bit harder for Sabo to lock down Plush. I think it's just going to come down to Plush waiting until his cooldowns are available and then going all in. He's got 20 seconds on Blade, so I think what he might just do is wait 20 seconds here. Honestly. Why is Warrior mobility so bad? Technically, Warriors have 2 charges, Blaze from immune CC, and a leap. That being said, they have really good cooldowns for mobility, but not like crazy mobility to like a monk or like a demon hunter, passive mobility, or like a rogue. I think some classes, they just don't have like a passive move speed. Stun totems are going to connect. Plush is going to get sundered here for a second. Wall out for Sabo together with Bloodlust. That primordial storm does a lot of damage. Plush just plunges himself back into the action, however, with a step into a beautiful looking DFA, but Sabo able to clobber him down. I don't know if he's got a flame shock onto Plush or anything. Plush is actually going to have to back up and lick his wounds behind the pillar. does not let that first aid channel for too long. Flame shot catches him, root totem picking him out of stealth into a full ascent. Kid is shot right after. He has a trinket to sub burn it, does burn it, and Flush is there with a cheap shot ready to go. That is so funny. He knew that he was going to try to greed that trinket. Just trying to greet it. Oh, knock up with a double blast of wind strikes. Beautiful hit. Beautiful damage. Though that was a whole 2-minute cooldown you committed to him. I don't know if you necessarily needed it. But hey, Bella's going to be up next. If you can somehow find a way to deal with yet another rogue, it's going to be Sunder right after. Do you have a Stun Totem? If you have a Stun Totem, does get it. Hold up, Primordial Storm. Do you have it? Does shrink it. Next to Totem. Does it go for a stun? What was that damage, Sabo? That wasn't even Primordial Storm. What was that damage? Just, was that Tempest? Couple of lightning bolt procs? What was that? I don't understand it. Bella is going to get hit with a, what looks like an Earth Shock, but it's actually a Voltaic Blaze. A Flame Shock that's a little bit more earthy to it. A little bit of an earthy taste to it. I think Sabo might just be able to take it, unless Bella got another defensive or CC. Cheap shot, hold on a second, does get out of it. Just needs a bit of damage. Bella playing around that she dead, does pick up a Warlock Hellstone with a Sippy Cup. You have a Vanish. I don't know, I think you just use a Vanish here. Unless you're done? What's Bella doing? Or is it just like that raw confidence, that bravado, the swagger of like, yeah, you know what? I win this anyway. I'm just going to start waddling around and win this. Kidney shot. Sabo knocked back. Step back for the rogue. Does he have Eviscerate? Cheap shot not available. Big Tempest. Bulwark is down. Bella needs just a little bit more damage, but a Tempest does connect. Tempest looks so beautiful. So beautiful. Sabo is going to be under total pressure. Technically, have Ascend in 20 seconds. You have Wall. You have Primordial Storm. That is a stun to Cobra. I don't know if you can move the totem. Does get the double stun. Hold on a second. Sabo just might need to send everything at Cobra. It looks like that's exactly what he is doing. Ascend is available very, very soon. Does not let the first aid run for too long. You need to find a way to root down Cobra if at all possible. Trying to get himself a better angle. But also needs to find a way just to get away from the Infernal. That thing is going to hurt. Those double Infernals. Those are going to hurt. Mortal getting sent in. Does break out of it. Trinket to follow. Chaos bolts right after. Sabo trying to get some damage in. That bolt is going to hurt, but does get himself a mad heal. Another bolt from the pet is going to hit him once, twice. Succubus CC catches up plenty of heals. He's still not out of it. Yet another bolt flying in. Can't stop that one. Does burrow underground for it. Knocking him up for a second. Do you have the damage? Yet another heal is available. Holy. Cobra does have a wall. Maybe looking for potentially wall here. May potentially be looking to use the wall here. It is going to be a root totem on the Succubus. At least can avoid that thing. Or potentially just focus it down. That may not be the worst. Stun totem is going to double stun the Succubus. Try to see if you can waddle Cobra in, but was trying to move the totem potentially. It's going to be a wall off of Cobra. Succubus catches him around the corner. Sabo does not have a trinket here. Mortal does connect. You have the double bolt. You need a double bolt to win this, I think. Sabo has got himself line of sight, which is so perfect. Being able to path towards the platform. It is massive. Got himself a little bit of line of sight. Cobra has himself potential lots of damage. Havoc onto that pet. So Mortal Coil, double Mortal would have been amazing. Tempest down onto Cobra. I don't think Tempest can get reflected back on top of them. I think that was just all absorbed by Death Pack. Or Dark Pack rather. Lightning Bolt does do a decent bit of damage though. Hold on. So for Sabo, those bolts are doing a lot. Does get himself a totem down, trying to see if he catch Cobra. Needs to be very, very careful of the Succubus if it's even in play. Unless he killed it. No, there it goes. Walking behind you. Try to go for a knock. I don't think he'd go for another gateway. That is more demons spawning in. Sabo just trying to find himself some cover behind the pillar, avoiding the pillar as best as possible. Mortal does connect, trying to avoid the stun totem into a stun to Sabo. Ruination does connect. Fear off of that stun. Does he have any more damage? Trying to go for a kick. Does not connect though. Cobra is in a good spot right there. If he wants to go for double bolt, if he has it, that would be the best time to do it. First aid down. Sabo picking up a lot of healing. Infernals are going to be piling in little by little. So Sabo just got to heal. Is focusing on attention on that Succubus squad a decent bit actually. Is going to be Cobra trying to see if he can summon a fresh new one into a root around the corner. At least you know exactly where the Warlock is at. Overlord charges in. Sabo does have Bloodlust, does have Ascend, has some full go right here. I don't know if he can maximize it. Wind strikes are connecting. As long as he got line of sight together with Tempest procs, which are for free off those wind strikes. It is massive. Does have a burrow down in case he needs to. Mortal is going to connect. Drink inside of it. Kicks him with Chaos Bolt. Hold on a second. Double Lightning Bolt. Isn't enough though. Succubus catching him for a second. Cobra is still trying to see if he can plunge yet another Chaos Bolt into the guy. Yet another bolt out for Sabo. He just needs one more big Tempest. Cobrex is right there, kicks him. Bolt one, double bolt. Sunder to stop it for a second. Fury to follow. Oh, Cobra so low. Burn down. Oh, knock up. The uppercut. Holy. That was so close between the two, but Sabo does come out on top. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys got mage food. Your team is the one with mages. Anybody, can you pass mage food to this man? Yo, Rick, Leo, if anybody got mage food, give this man mage food. Messiah looks like he's trying to give this man an honor duel. He ain't attacking him. He just uses the totems to build some holy power. That was wild. Yeah, that was wild. GG's for both of you. My goodness. That was amazing. Warrior ability sucks. What do you think they had the ability to make it better? Yeah, I feel like they would just need to give warriors some kind of like a slow breaker or just passive movement speed through the talent or something. Like some way. What if you could sacrifice some rage for move speed, man? That'd be interesting. At least it's like a resource you play or something, right? Wall out for Sabo ahead of this. Saya has walked into this with everything. Sabo, beaten, bruised, everything but his ego is bruised here. This man knows he can win this duel. He just needs every bit of tool in his repertoire. He just doesn't have those tools. Big damage with Saya, actually forcing the paladin behind the pillar. Sabo is going to do a lot of self-healing, however, to keep himself afloat here. He just doesn't have a lot of Maelstrom to work with. Maelstrom is getting built up from the pets, however, but he's using Maelstrom more on the offensive side than on defensive. I think poking behind the pillar and getting a couple lightning bolts might not be the worst. He's got to be prepared for this next go. Try to go for a knock. That is going to be full Wake of Ashes. Ascend is available for Saya. He might just need to ascend onto Saya. Might need to ascend on him. Oh, Trinket? I don't really know what he could do. Ascend is out. I don't know if he can do any healing. But Saya, yeah, just ends up lobbing a couple of hammers at you and down you go. Leo got hit by a couple of hits in the crossfire, giving Saya a chance here to get a lot of healing. He did get kind of hit by Saya's AoE, I think, a little bit. But he is giving him at least a chance to come back. I do like that. Do you have mage food or are you just mana? I think it's mana. I think it's literally just drinking up some mana. Man. So breaker would be good, like shout or something. Didn't warriors used to have a slow breaker through like at least Fury used to have a way to break out a slow? Sacrifice some rage to break a slow? I don't know if it was like in Legion or any other expansion, but like a while ago, I think they used to have something like that. Well, didn't they? I don't know if they still do. Gonna be full damage out for Saya. Wake of Ashes with a glimmer onto, or Dawnlight onto Leo. So it's gonna be a lot of dot damage for him to try to see if he can survive and deal with. Saya just trying to keep the pressure onto Leo, continuing to slam him with this finishes bubble right after, keeping the pressure rolling onto Leo as much as humanly possible. Death back for Leo just to give him some more health to work with. Bubble up for Saya was used. I think he still got lay on hands. So Saya's got still a big ace in his back pocket. Leo getting hit with a stun. I don't know if you can do any damage. I don't know if you could lock down Saya, maybe with a silent stun lock combo or something, anything, before he can use the lay on hands. That would be amazing. He does have a trinket, but no, just the Dawnlight melted him. It's down to Rig to potentially make a big play. Just goes for the big gateway play immediately. Knowing there's no immunity, he just needs to burn through 2 health bars of Saya. And he is good. Saya trinketed, hold on. Lay on hands. That's last chance for you, Saya. Last chance, last opportunity. This is it. You got all these pets attacking it. Stuns the whole army of demons. Trying to get some damage to Rick. He needs to do whatever healing he can, but his soul does get clean from his body with those overloads joining in. I think it's just over. Yeah, it's just over. Look at the most kills there, actually. Oh, Sabo! What is your healing? You're not an enhancement shaman. That's a resto right here, baby. What is that? That is a restoration shaman. Who just got tired of getting beat up in arenas, decided to drop the ward, pick up a sword, or an axe rather. In his situation, you can't equip swords. Or rather fists. He's running around with fists. Let's get another going, boys. That was amazing. That was amazing. That was so good. I didn't realize he went for 4 like that. Damn. God, dampening sucks. I agree with you. Dampening does suck. How long does one round of 2000's 2K solo shuffle go? How long does round 2K? I mean, 2K right now, I'd say it's pretty much ratty. Like a single round or like all 6 rounds? Like a single game. If you talk about a single game, I'd say like every game is about like a minute and a half, somewhere around there. They don't really last too long. Maybe a minute and a half if people are really trying, but usually like about a minute, I'd say. So you're talking about like 6 rounds, minus the waiting time, 6 minutes. So like a 10 minutes in overall time spent in a full solo shuffle, more or less. 10-15 minutes game isn't bad for a 5 game, not counting queue times. You mean like for duels? Yeah, need one. Plus needs one more, boys. Plus needs one more. Got groups listed over in LFG, I'm pretty sure. So let them know. Get in there. Johnny's ready. Plus needs one, and we'll get another going, boys. Get in here, baby. Get in here. Chat, tomorrow we are still EU. We are still tomorrow EU. However, the week after that, next week, we are going to be doing a Saturday NA. We have something special. A whole guild going to be joining some duels and making their team, and we'll try to see if we can get an NA team together. I'll let you message all my regular NA boys for that, but yeah. What the hell? Yeah, we're doing some NA duels. Not this week. Next week. So this week is still EU. We're still EU. I'll let you guys know about it tomorrow, a little bit more detail. But yeah. Zoo. Lordaeron. I feel like Lordaeron. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. It's actually so. I'm excited for it. I'm actually legit excited for it. I think it's about that time, and it should make it easier to make groups. This guild basically does their own homemade 5v5 duels with their guild, so they do that on Fridays, but they're moving their Saturday for next week. So we're gonna have NA group, their guild versus our teams, and they, from the sound of things, they try to make things super competitive. They were even wondering like if I would want to do like tournaments or stuff like that or whatever. I told them that I always had interest in that, but I just didn't think it was a feasible way to make it really truly work. Like the format would need to be really thought through, and I just couldn't really find for the longest time like a really good way of doing it, because it would just create like a very much like a ratty plays. Like it would just play, people will play extra super safe without making those big plays, the fun plays or whatever, things like that. But I was like, how would you score when you have a 5-man team? Because then it's like, oh, I guess everybody would want to go first, and it'd be super like hyper competitive in their own teams or whatever. Right? Do you score them as a team or as a player? Which? How would you score them? Just by kills? Maybe, but if like, what if you get bad rolls and you always go last and you never get points, right? Then you're screwed over. Things like that, right? Little things that you really have to think about. Rick just got himself all those pets out here, dude. They're just running amok, running literally everywhere. And Plush is gonna wait him out completely. Yeah, look at them, just kind of surrounding the squad. Squad up, man. They will get a couple of good hits on the Plush. They'll win at Axtos. So that'll be a decent bit of damage, at least to start with. Evasion off of Plush really early. Try to see if you can deny any kind of physical damage from those pets. It's going to get boarded out. Step immediately. Board out for Rick. Do you have another step? That is going to be vanished out of the rogue into a gate where right after it has himself one more step. So at least he's got himself mobility counter with a trinket out of the mortal coil. Fear does connect as he doesn't go for a kick, however. With Rick going for a Warlock Headstone. Fear right after, popping the stone, try to see if he can get himself some damage going with the Chaos Mother, doing lots of damage. Does go for a meld really quickly, but the axe does with the double Felguard. That is painful. Plush is going to be under a lot of pressure. Gloomhound with the Tyrant does go for the gouge before the Tyrant comes out. Kidney shot, that is going to be really good, but those pets are still going to do a lot of damage. That Tyrant, not necessary for play, but those pets are still doing a lot. Plush just trying to see if he can maybe make a play with DFA. Try to see if he can go for big invest. Does get himself a huge hit. But Rick, ripping his soul out of his body, is going to get himself a big old Doomlord joining in. Bella up next, get a shot. Rick with a trinket into a, or not trinket, the art stun. But he's got himself a wall to try to see if he gets the damage versus Bella. Does go for a stun. Fewer to follow. Needs to get more pets, needs to get a better positional. That's what he really needs. Gloomhound, Tyrant at some point might need to come out. That is a Cloak of Shadows. Try to see if he can predict the rogue. If he goes for a step, just have himself the gateway, the poor descend. For a moment, picking up the eye, the pets. I don't know if he'll have Mortal Coil for this. I don't think he has Axos, does he? This could be lines for Rick. Dark Pact is keeping him alive here. Axos does connect into a fear right after. It is kind of short though, which is unfortunate. Knocking the rogue back for a second. Kidney shot, super short as well. Rick picking up a little bit of health though. Bella does have yet one more vanish and is going to be able to use it to at least close that gap. But it's going to be a gateway out for Rick as he's waddling towards the eye into a Mortal Coil. Does pick up himself the Dreadstalker's Gloomhound right after. Able to pick up the eye in case he needs to, but the rogue has no more vanishes available. It's going to be a gateway. I think Bella at this point maybe have realized that, yep, it is lights for me. It is lights for me into a hollow. Going to be up next. Dodge, but before you can really get the dots going, immediate Axos shrinkens it, but he's still locked out for Shadow. is gonna go for a fade. Full Void Torn, big damage available. Still gotta get dots on a Rick though, or just pop cooldowns. We might just have to send cooldowns here. Rick is taking quite a bit of damage. That Rift is gonna connect, but you just gotta make sure you get all your dots on him. All your ducks in a row, man. I don't know if you played Shadow Crash, but you definitely needed Axe Toss to the Shadow, which is not ideal. Does he have CC? He might need something. Fear to follow. Hollow's under a ton of pressure. He's got himself Desperate Prey. Maybe looking for a possibly Disperse. Does go for Disperse. Rick so far has been able to still take a decent bit of damage from Hollow. That Void Rift does a lot of damage. But, however, he was able to at least lock him down for quite a decent bit. Port as he goes in for a Void Affection to reposition. Hollow, I think, burned a fade there for a second. Does have a fear. He just needs to somehow close the gap to get a proper fear into Rick. Does get a fear, but gets sent back. Hold on, you got the line of sight. Finally can get some dots on him with Dark Ascension. Is that an opportunity for you to have a big go? Mind games with a Rift, maybe? If you get yourself Rift on top of it, Void Torrent does connect. That is a lot of damage to Rick. Wait, Rick could just die. Wait, Rick could die. Rick could die right here. Rick is dead. Holy! You gotta love how strong Shadow Priest are, man. He just gotta get himself one little setup, and it's just light. That ripped together with full go. Oh my god. That is so strong. Sabo does get himself big damage versus Saya. Immediately goes in for that Ascend. He's just trying to see if he can crack those side defenses. Blind does Trinket out of it into a stun right after. I don't know if Saya goes in for Searing Glare. Looks like he doesn't go for it. Those wind strikes still continue to land like a hurricane. Smashing against Saya back to back to back. Just not making it easy for him whatsoever. As he got himself a bit of damage with Sabo. But Sabo is going to try to see if he can back up out of there very, very quickly. Just not in a great spot right now. Saya taking a lot of the Primordial Storm damage. You can't get a melee of Sabo at all, man. That is nuts. That is nuts. Stun to follow. Saya does get knocked back, but he's got himself lots of range damage. He really needs to play around that Dawn Light dot as well as the hot effect, right? Let's melt Sabo over time. Lay on hands to try to see if he can tussle with him. Sabo, as soon as he gets a melee with Saya, he knows he's gonna force cooldowns out of him. And Sabo's got a lot of recovery. Dawn Light hurts for sure, but between the healing stream totem and those powerful healing surges, he's just in a great spot. Trinket out for Saya, but it's going to be bloodlust. Big tempo. Saya actually could have went down there if he wasn't careful. Shield of Vengeance, he's barely survived it. Stun onto Sabo, but he's being very, very careful. Sun Nurture break past the shield. Sabo just sees one big hit, massive, massive hit. Saya with a bubble, burrow down for Sabo. He did want to find out if a Tempest was going to just wipe him out or not. I think if he has a Hodge, he might be in a great spot here. Sabo just doesn't have much health to really work with. He needs a heal right here, right now. Lasts up for a second just to hold Saya back. He got himself some cooldowns coming back little by little. Wall very, very soon. I don't know if he got enough to kill here. Oh, he did some damage. Saya does go in for the final hit. I don't know if a Primordial Storm would have done it. Primordial Storm might have been able to do it because Saya's health was kind of low. He still has himself Blessing of Protection or Spell Warden, so he's okay. Envy is going to have to get those cooldowns out of him, though. And the only way he can do, though, is through pressure. Blessing of Protection immediately. Envy just needs to live. Parry, everything. I don't know. Rally Cry, you may need everything here, bud. Wait, you belfed his buff? I forgot you were a belf now. Wait, is that gonna be enough? You just need to catch up to him. Big Blade Storm. I don't know if he's got it. Parry, may need to need to use parry. Parry right here, bud. Trinket, parry, fear. I think you just need to parry. Parry, Blade Storm. Let those Mortal Strikes connect. Yeah. Mortal Strikes gotta connect, but the Shield of Vengeance, yeah, Saya does it, reversing it on him. Man, that is crazy amount of damage Saya can take. I'm surprised he lived that versus Sabo. At some point he got hit by Tempest. I got so low that if you just like, if it wasn't careful, he followed up with a Shield of Vengeance immediately, trying to go for recovery. There's no way he predicted that. He's like, yeah, that Tempest isn't enough to kill me. There's no way. You know what I mean? Blizzard down for me. He's trying to see if he can keep the pressure rolling in onto Saya. Got him so big, stunned, ready to go. Ring of Frost around the corner. I almost, every time I say ring, I almost say Ring of Peace every time. Even if it's a Ring of Frost, I just for some reason just default my brain to Ring of Peace. Are you just dead in a Ray of Frost? Are you? Wait, I think he's just dead. Yeah, flurries, it's over. After all this, like Saya, sometimes you just watch his health bar and you're like, man, this man can live through like the apocalypse. And then at times like he sees his health bar and it's like, oh wait, no, he's actually dying. Yeah, Pally's just strong defensively until you're out of cooldowns, it feels like. Once you're out of cooldowns, like it just, your health bar really does like plummet pretty quickly. Not like Saya couldn't play any better. I think he was just literally out of options. I feel like he was literally out of anything to use. Bolts down onto Mies. Ooh, that was a lot of damage. I don't know when you alter. What are these bolts? How are you not taking damage? Was that a greater invis? That must have been a greater invis. Eating those bolts. Holy, Cobra is just gonna keep incinerating into the block. Pretty sure he does build soul shards off of it. Does get himself a havoc hit onto one of those images with a bolt to follow. Big damage to the Mies. Oh, that just hurts. Shadow burns is gonna be enough here. 1 burn, 2 burn. Do you have any more? Conflagration, shifting power. Mies just might die to the dots. I think he's just dead to the dots. He's still got a portal melting him. It's over. It's over. It's over. Yeah, I didn't realize he still had himself like a little shadow portal. A lot of these portals from Warlocks are very interesting. One of them just does like shadow damage very slowly but steady. It's there for a while. Then there's one that like barrels a bunch of damage into a chaos, like a machine gun, and one that just sends out a big lob of chaos bolt at him. The shadow one in particular is like very much like, oh, maybe I'll be okay. Nah, you ain't okay. Full army surrounding Cobra, however, he has nowhere else to go. I think it's just gonna be lights here. Silence, it's over. It's over, it's over, it's over, yeah. No matter how many pets you got. 2 for Saya, 2 for Rick. Well done. Howler with a one-shotted combo, dude. I like the amount of healing he can do, by the way. But look at his little setup as a Shadow Priest. He just needs one good go. You gotta love Shadow Priest burst, man. I personally love it. I love it. I know it's kind of cheesy because he can like start a rift and you go behind the pillar. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you just don't see them in 1v1. So seeing them do well in 1v1s to me, I just get super excited about it. Let's get another one going, boys. Yeah, uno mas. Get ourselves in here. We got ourselves Tigers Peak. We can still do as a map and Blade's Edge. I do want to try to avoid doing Blade's Edge because you guys don't like Blade's Edge, but it's okay. No 5 res here though. Yeah, I feel like 1v1s, 5v5 1s are fun until you get like too many repeating classes on a same team. It just becomes a little much. Load set up, make next go. Okay, remake next go. Sounds good, Plush. Sounds good. Ready? Both of y'all are ready. Need one? Okay, we need one for Team Johnny. If y'all want to join, he's going to list it in LFG under multicore in a second here. Join Team Johnny. They need an uno mas, one more body. If you guys want to join in, more than welcome to. More than welcome to, man. Where are they? There they are. Join up, boys. They need one. And Plush after this is probably going to remake the team. So if you're on Team Plush with the Rogue, he's gonna like drop you guys, but then you can just re-sign back up and you'll take some of you that already played and new bodies as well, just to get some fresh blood. Just to rotate people out. I do like when we have enough people on where we could just do rotations like that. Let's do Tigers, right? Beautiful. I think Johnny is good. Once it tells me, let's send me the go ahead. 2 people listen on EU live. Yeah, dude, EU is lively. EU is definitely lively. Takes a second or two, man. Takes a second. What's weird is like some of the regular boys I'm not even in here today have all the buttons on the DK. I have the CD. Wait. I have all the buttons on the DK. I have the CD. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, ты говоришь, что у тебя все кулдауны были для Death Knight, но не все на CD. Но все на cooldown. Все down. I don't know what the word for Russian would be good for down. I think he said he has buttons for Death Knight, just all of them were down. Like he has the ability to fight a Death Knight, he just had literally nothing available. Waiting for him to come back up. Because there's no really good word in Russian like for like cooldowns are down. Because in Russian it'd be a little bit too literal. Like down close to the ground. That's the closest word I can think of. See, we need another word for it. Out. Out. Is there a word in Russian for out? Probably. Yeah, like a Russian version of out would probably work fine, but down, there's just no like in English it sounds fine, in Russian it just doesn't. You know what I mean? Which I was in Gold Share earlier. Yo, what's up, Kevin? How you doing, man? Seeing the boys, say hello to them, man, when you see them. Sai gonna hit with a fear. ASUS is gonna be a bolts flying in immediate immunity to matter damage as Rick is switching out to the Destro. He's just gonna have to go for ports. He's gonna have to go for long range gameplay here. Does avoid Saya. Is gonna need to get the succubus over there. Reflect up against the Hodge. Blind to follow succubus. Could potentially follow up. That's gonna be a good moment. Unless Saya goes for a kick. Saya's next to the succubus. Rick trying to see if he can get himself some defense. Does go for Warlock House together with a bit of a dark back. Saya is gonna get hit with the fears. This could be an opportunity for Rick to make some damage happen. I don't know if you just go for double bolt, maybe Infernal. Might just have to. Might just have to. Is going to be an Infernal drop, and then he's just trying to see if he can maximize that range from Saya. Hand of Freedom going to keep him running. I don't know if you want to go for Succubus CC just to deal with the Hand of Freedom. Double the purple Infernals though. I do like them purple. I like the way they look. It's not much a rig, but he does go for the big gateway. Saya rushes out. All those pets, however, are so far behind. So Rick is just having to just kind of flounder out here on his own without those pets. I think he might just be going down here. Reflect for a second. Succubus CC, drain life with a Mortal Coil. All you can do is Mortal Coil from here. All you can do is Mortal Coil. Give yourself some time until a Warlock Houselands are up. Might just be able to go for Big Bolt here. Saya takes a lot of damage. Does go for Wake of Ashes on the pet. Rick has a Warlock Houston back up with wall. This could be potentially pulling Saya into a sense of, oh, I'm fine. I just got to take down Rick. Does go for Warlock Houston early. I was thinking maybe he will delay it. Dark back, wall, blanket the next go, and then Warlock Houston out of it. But no, he's just going to use it early. Try to go for Aya Kill Rock just to see if he can move the pet back over. Is going to summon a fresh new Succubus, however. Or rather, Shivara. Technically, Shivara. Going to be a stuns onto Rick for a second. Saya just trying to keep the pressure on him as best as possible. Bloodsucker sink for a second. Soulfire, Bolt 1, trying to get kicked as best as possible. Succubus is going to catch him. If you got yourself double bolt, that could be very deadly. That could be very dangerous for my man Saya. Shadow Fury, double bolt. One bolt is up. Fury right after, just trying to get himself a bit of CC back to back on the Saya. Double bolt maybe. One bolt. It's going to do a lot of damage. Mortal Coil does help a little bit. Another bolt. Saya. Oh, layered hands. Does get the double bolt. But the layered hands kept him alive. I can't believe it. There it is, boys. There it is. It's Leo trying to see if he can get himself some kind of a go versus Saya. Got himself full AMS, riders, and everything available still to follow Saya. Under a bunch of pressure, still got a bubble though. He means the layered hands there for that double bolt. Does keep him alive though. Man. As he got himself Leo waggling over towards Saya, blind right after. I see, goes in for a blind as well, actually. Trading blinds back to back is going to be Leo. Still trying to see if he can keep the pressure onto Saya as best as possible. Silence to follow is going to be Bubble. Got himself a Bubble. Do you have the follow-up damage though? Leo with a dome. Trying to see if he can bunker down here as best as he can. Stun to follow into a blind out. Or Bubble out for Saya. Why did I say blind? Like I'm not even paying attention to their abilities anymore. Do you have Lion Hands? That's the thing with Saya. It looks like Lion Hands is up, but I'm pretty sure it ain't. It's so hard to track it. I think it's because it has cooldown reduction. The game has a very, very hard time tracking it. Every other cooldown, Shield of Vengeance, everything, tracks it fine. Oh, that is being tracked okay. Saya kind of low, and Leo does end up running him over. Surviving. Just fine, dude. That Death Strike boss, man, the Death Knights, keeping you guys plenty of lively. Is it Hollow up next? Hollow is charging in. Hollow technically can do a ton of damage to Leo. Is going to hit him with a stun. Is going to break out of the human racial. Blind, Trinket, Fear. Doesn't have Legiborn. There's going to be full burst out of a Hollow. Mind Games, full burst. AMS doesn't stop it. Hollow got himself lots of damage onto Leo. He's just trying to see if he can death pact him, but it may not be enough. There's just a lot of damage is burning too. Oh, that Rift chunks out a good portion of his health. DP's down too. Leo, I think, might be down for the count. What corruption is Hollow running? Is he Void Ritual? Is he Tentacles? I feel like Shadowpriest should be implored to run Tentacle, guaranteed. Silence out for Leo. A couple of Death Strikes does help him stabilize even a little bit. Even a tiny bit. We are only 4 minutes into the duel. Big Void Torrent. Leo does have AMS for it, though he can't really stop the damage of it. If he can get a couple of DPs, Tentacle too, that is a lot of damage. That Rift is going to do a lot, I think. Oh, you're so low. Is it going to be enough here? Shadowboard Deaths might take you. What Hollow really needs is a couple of dots onto Leo. That's what he really truly needs. Just making sure the VT and Pain are both on him. Even if it's just Pain, man, he's got to make sure all the dots are on him. Every single one of them, and that's what's really going to help him do a ton of damage. Does get the DP. Does go for a Fade for a second. Drop it down a bunch of DPs. You have another big setup, maybe? You could obviously use that pet to like set up an instacast dots onto Leo. I think that's exactly what he did. Rift is up, and Leo might be in trouble. Hollow just gotta live. Leo under a ton of pressure. Rift does explode. Hollow with a blind, trying to get some more dots going. Into a disperse. Leo just get himself slowed down completely. You picture Remorseless Winter that does a ton of damage but slows you. Trying to go for a grip, but a fade out for Hollow. And he's able to get a DP going yet again. You just gotta get some dots on the Leo. AMS is up, so you can't really dot him for a moment. Hollow just needs a little more health. Desperate Prayers in. Needs to get a fear or something, anything. Fear as the AMS goes through. Rift is up. Void Bolt. Oh! The Void Bolt connects. Also, forget that the Void Bolts hurt while the Rift is up. You just don't really have an opportunity to get some Void Bolts out. Does get kicked. Hollow does go for a fade here. No fear for a second. Maybe a silence or Anubis? No. Anubis does take it. Anubis! That's the name I haven't seen in a second, actually. Anubisil. I know this guy. Cobra is going to be up next. Charging. Trying not to charge in. Is going to end up walking into those totems. If Anubis can maybe move the big totem, that'll be golden. It's going to be Succubus catching him for a second. But he has himself plenty potential damage. Bolt 1 is out. Doesn't take a lot of damage from the bolt. I think maybe walled it right before it connected. But it barely takes any damage from the bolt. It's actually okay. Is going to get himself a bit of a bloodlust silent. Oh, cannot interrupt chaos bolts. Why he's got nether ward, nether bolt right after, and he was so low in health. Oh, Cobra with a double bolt. Someone in a big pets. I think it was an overlord that jumped in there too, right? With a big axe hit. That was a lot of damage. Mies has got to find a way to make this happen, man. He's got to find a way to run in there, get some damage going here, bud. As is going to be Succubus catching immediately. Cobra does get interrupted on that kick. Into a stun. Does he get to go for a proper stun? Does get to do it. Just hits him with the Frosttrap bolts. And our Frosttrap bolts actually can do a lot of damage. While shattered, that ability just hits really, really hard. It's actually a really hard hitter. Just a lot of times mages, unless you're like playing in the comp-based gameplay, and you can just get some distance and just cast a bunch of Frosttrap bolts, you just don't really get a lot of opportunities for it. He is going to go for a bit of a position with that gateway. I like how there's a gateway on either side, by the way. Pretty sure one is for team 1, one is for team 2, right? Pretty sure. Pretty positive. Bolt is going to connect yet again off of the second CC. Infernal Bolt is going to summon up the Chaos Mother on top of it too. Mies can cast while moving, but he's just not really in a great spot to really do much. Big port out for Cobra with a first aid. As Mies, I think, is trying to see if he can back up out of there, but his resets are not going to be as effective. Unless you just jumps everything into Succubus, take it out, then sit down for some mage food. Then maybe Invis is going to help. But if Cobra positions the pets in a good spot, you're not even going to go for a reset, are you? No, he's just going to try to see if he can set up a go. But that Succubus is going to catch him immediately. It's there, dude. Immediately on you. Into a bolt. Block right after. Pit Lord would have been really, really bad amounts of damage for you to deal with. It just casts Insurance actually back to back. Does go for a kick. And it's going to be poured out of Cobra. Question is, though, can Mies somehow turn this around? Dodging the Infernal, which is huge, but then Infernal is going to add a bit of extra passive damage for Cobra. Going in for Ruination. That's going to give him a bit of reflect. Also, Overlord. Overlord ends it. Oh, that slam, dude. The overhead slam by the Overlord. Hard hitter right there. Spear down onto Cobra, unless he can gateway out. Yep, gateway is the only thing that can break the spear. That was a lot of cooldowns to spend there, though. That was a lot of stuff to spend. As Envy just going to be kind of pinned down by the Succubus, by the other pets, having to waddle out towards Cobra slowly but surely. It is not going to feel that great. Got himself another Chaos Mother. Now that they buffed up Chaos Mother as well as all the other Diablos pets, it is a lot of damage that Envy does not really want to deal with. Doesn't really want to take that damage to the face if you can help it. Shadow Fury and Cobra is setting up a big bonds of fell with a bolt right after for Envy. Not going to feel good. Mortal still kind of pinned up against the platform with a Pit Lord. I think it just lights. With a Pit Lord. Ruination doesn't connect. No, I swear Ruination doesn't do anything. I swear it doesn't do anything. You can't convince me anymore. Fear down onto that pet. I think Fear also did connect onto Cobra there as well. Envy does have a parry, but it's not going to be able to do much. Damage reduction would have been amazing, but that bolt, you can't really stop it is the problem. Look at this guy floating around like a beautiful butterfly. Catching up 3. Yo, Cobra. Diablos Cobra, man. I love seeing it. I still think the Hellcaller is probably better, but I like the damage that the Diablos pets can do, man. They do a lot of damage. They're pretty awesome looking. Who's this guy? Alrighty, let's get us another going, boys, yeah? It's time for one more, and then I'm gonna go get food, get some work done, all that. I got keys later too. But yeah. John is ready. Blush is ready. Let's do this. Last one for the night. Tomorrow we'll do more, boys. Tomorrow we're doing a bunch more, okay? We'll do... I think we've done literally every map. But one. Got a bunch of these games out here. They don't normally exist anymore. Fives? Oh, fives. Okay, I see what you mean. Like five. Like 5v5. Okay, I get it. Just because from red damage the whole ascendance. I don't get why you keep saying the fives. There's no fives. Wait, what? What's the 5 format like in Wrath? I remember it being like 2 heals, 3 DPS. Oh yeah, 5v5 format. So I haven't played 5v5 format. Doesn't exist anymore in retail. I don't know if classic like Kata or Mop has 5v5 still. I think normally, yeah, most of the times it's usually 2 healers, 3 DPS. But in the duels, we just gotta do it like an old DPS, just 1-on-1 or 1-on-1. You know what I mean? 5v5 1-on-1 format that we do here. But in the proper 5v5 format, I think it is 2 healers, 3 DPS. There've been some comps where it's like 1 DPS, 4 healers. Just to get 1 giga DPS, it healers that end up landing cross CC. We've had like 5 old Boomy, 5 old Shaman, old Ellie, 5 old Hunter. Some weird ones here and there. Please don't go yet. I'm still saving. Oh, Anubis! Getting hit with the roads. Crap. No. Hold on. Which? I'm missing Anubis getting hit. He's getting bled up, getting torn up, full death mark, and everything is available. Flush just not even giving this man much of a breather. Drake gets out. There's going to be Anubis trying to see if we can back up out of the big Envenom DFA. Is that what I just saw? Is going to be a totem stunning you. Potentially lots of damage available for Anubis. Is going to get a second stone with a Sunder. But Flush has got himself lots of big Envenom damage. That's a Primordial Storm right there. And Flush immediately backs up out of there. As soon as he sees that thing. That is a lot of damage to deal with. And Imbecile does get himself, I think, what is that, a root around the corner? No, I think maybe like a shock or two. Does get him up the open fly to train on the Hex. Almost said Poly. Technically it's a Polymorph effect, isn't it? Stop Sleepy out of a man. Not being able to make live stream work. All good, man. All good, Sleepy. Don't you ever apologize for IRL, man. IRL sometimes it just be like that. You know what I mean? Don't ever apologize about that, man. I appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a wonderful evening, by the way, my guy. Anubis does get himself a bunch of heals. He's able to be able to stabilize quite a decent bit here. Bloodshot is Kingsbane. He could go for the Cold Blood Double Envenom combo. That is still something that is available to him. But Primordial Storm from the Shaman is actually very deadly. Kidney Shot is getting set up. He just got to make sure he's got himself the Tails coin, big DFA dodging the knockback, which is massive. Root Totem with a stun right after. Anubis, do you have some Primordial setup? Now would be a huge time to do it. Got himself the big totem. Hold on a second. Lasso for a moment, just holding Plush back for a minute. Gouge, but Plush, you have the big Envenom? Because Gouge can be used as a damaging ability more than anything, like a stun. It doesn't break the damage immediately. It has a bit of a threshold. You can actually use it in order to hold him for a moment there. Into a cheap shot onto a Anubis. Garrote Raptor, I think he does take it. I don't know if he's got himself that big Cold Blood there, but plenty of damage in order to take down the Shaman. Man, is it going to be Envy next? It looks like it is going to be Envy. Kind of giving Plush at least a chance there to get himself some sort of a setup. First time live seen it doing the duels, try to join one. But an otter dude got invited, me as Bommy. What's up, Alexander? Hopefully we can get you in these, man. Hopefully we can get you. Do you play NA or EU? Because we'll be doing more on EU tomorrow. We can get you in if you're EU. Just someone to envy. And we definitely want to try to see if we get you in here, man. Definitely want to try to give everybody a chance here to play. Big DFA slamming down to Envy. Hold on. Does he get the Cold Blood? He does get the Cold Blood. Oh, another advantage to follow up Envy with a parry. It doesn't matter, though. Once you get the blades in, just get them blown up. And the blades will land the execute. EU, we can get you in tomorrow, my guy, if you're going to show up. If you pop in here, we can get you in. But tonight, I think it might be the last one for that, unless it's like a really, really short one. Though, depending how well Plush plays here, I guess, yeah. As a rogue, you really can just be a one-man army, one-man threat. Kiddo shot onto Leo. Just trying to see if he can back up out of that. May not be the worst move, actually. As long as he can avoid getting death gripped, should be able to escape him. Death indicate down, but doesn't quite catch anywhere near the rogue. So Plus is able to walk out of there scot-free. Kingsbane coming back up, so he's most likely going to wait until Kingsbane is available before he goes in for an actual go versus the DK. And Leo, picking up the eye, went for Lichborn in case there's a sap. That Lichborn could have been used defensively, however. Does see the rogue, catches him with a remorseless. Doesn't sit that sap long at all, though. He's going to be a full stone for Plush. It's a Cloak of Shadows. Does he go for counter? I think he's just trying to see if he can play defensively. Shadow Melt, try to go for it. Doesn't quite connect. Step to follow. Maybe get some dots. That's a lot of damage out for the DK. Oh, and Leo just goes in with the big hits. Back to back. I like how TD just randomly proc, even though you're not fighting anything anymore. You gotta love that, dude. Bella is gonna be up next, though, versus Leo, who just sent a few offensives. And one defensive. No, two defensives. Lichborn doesn't count for some reason as a defensive on the bars. But does have two that you can still send. Oh, versus Bella. Watching for more. What's up, Shane? How you doing, my guy? Hope you're having a great day at work, my man. Hope the work day is going pretty smoothly on this Friday night. He's getting a shot onto Leo. Does go for a quick blind to follow up. Step to follow. Leo just trying to see if he can back up out of that cheap shot right after Leo. May not be in the great spot with evasion from Bella. Has a cloak in case he wants to rotate it. This is going to be Leo just going for even more defenses. Got himself a pet with the Ghoul Summon. Quick sacrifice, juicing that thing for a bit of that health bar recovery. And Bella does get himself a proper reset into tech. No, Blades already get used. Never mind. For some reason, I thought you had Blades for a moment. Leo does it up, trying to see if he can just remorseful to roam around, maybe find the rogue. But honestly, waiting out for some cooldowns is not the worst idea. IBF would be pretty helpful here. Honestly, breaking out of a stun would be huge because he doesn't have any of one of those moves at all. So right now all he can do is maybe look for the eyes, look for rogue, randomly does find them. There's going to be an opportunity. He got riders, he's got everything. He does see the rogue, does get a chain of ice. As long as he can avoid the kidney shots, he might be okay. Rogue needs to build comp points before the kidney. But if you could go for a rider play, that could be huge. It's just letting that white main do a bit of damage. Riders all join in. Start onto Bella. This is a lot of damage. Does pre-A message. Try to see if he can stop some of the damage from the rogue. Vanish out for Bella, but they're still out in play. Riders still see you somewhere, one way or another. It's going to be quick blind. You have one more vanish. You could use it to try to see if you catch a reset. It looks like maybe Leo just going in for damage immediately. Vanish out with Bella going in for cheap. But you break out of with an IBF blind to follow, just not letting the rogue get any kind of setup whatsoever. Like a Frost Striker or two should take it. Taking out these rogues one after another. Hollow is going to be up next, though. Last time Hollow did go in, full Void Sword and everything, and it just, I mean, Leo melted. The damage Shadow Priest could do. It's kind of nutty, honestly. Gonna even go after this. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Hell yeah. Leo tried to see if he can get himself in a decent setup here. He does need a lot of cooldowns to take versus Hollow. I know it's a Shadow Priest, and historically Shadow Priests are like maybe like way early expansions like TBC, Vanilla, Wrath, maybe they were scary. I think last time Shadow Priests were actually super spooky for melee. Maybe it wasn't for the mop where people would just spam DP. And I think DP didn't cost like sanity. I think it just was big mana cost, right? Really high mana cost. You would just spam it, melt people. I remember in mob, a lot of classes were super wacky like that. I think Shadow Priest was one of the wacky ones too. And normally, since then, melee usually walk over them and shred them like paper. Recently, though, with War Within and Void Weaver, I think it is. Yeah, Void Weaver. I feel like I shouldn't be drawing a blank, dude. I only spend a ton of time with all these hero specs from Alpha and Beta. Void Weaver can do a ton of damage with that rift ability. Stun onto Leo. Gotta get the dots. Full Dark Ascent. Mind Games to reverse some damage. Silence, but Leo's still fighting right through it. Hollow needs to do some damage at some point. He got him some big defenses. I don't really know what else he can do. Rift is in. Rift is up, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Oh! Rift did a lot of damage though, but Leo had plenty of bursts to follow up. Goldberry immediately hitting Leo with some bursts of his own, just dropping down ports. Back-to-back ports with the reflect, so you can't even do much about it. Does grip the succubus over just to get a couple of death strikes. He's just on defensive right now. If this man lives here with just death strikes, that'd be miraculous. Cobra with a Cataclysm around the corner. Cataclysm hurts, man. Cataclysm actually does kind of hurt. Mortical, I think it might be lights. Oh yeah, not even a chance. Maybe there was an opportunity for him to press like Death Pact, AMS, IBF all at once. All in a single global, but he didn't even have a chance off of that CC. Just immediately CC'd into a bolt and you're dead. I distracted that around. All good, man. All good. Rick, oh, him being dragged here. Got knocked, but then he caught himself mid-air, setting up even more pets towards Cobra. A full turret and everything is in play. Cobra does that up all the pets, so technically that is going to give him lots of soul shards to work with. Lots of resources technically, but it's going to be more and more demons just continuing to charge at him. He does go for a port, still all those pets in play, empowered with length by the Tyrant. And it's just going to be lots of damage for Cobra to try to find a way to avoid. Going up the platform to jump over is going to help disengage from some of these pets for a few seconds, if anything. Does get hit with an Axos, however. It is going to be an Overlord jumping in on top of Rick. Does get himself even more pets. Chaos Mother attacking Cobra as well. Together with the Doom Lord. Hold on a second. Although Doom Lord looks like attacking the Succubus more than anything. Reflect a Mortal Coil back up onto Cobra. Stun to follow. Infernal Bolt with a fear right after. Locking him down as best as possible. Rick just got himself in such a good position. Cobra immediate port, immediate first aid. Pet is going to break it. That Doom proc is also going to hit him quite a decent bit. He's going to go for a Succubus halfway across, but he's still surrounded by pets. That Doom Lord by himself could probably just end Cobra right here. Every single one of these bolts, dude, it is hurting. It is melting. It is over. I think it's just done with. Just a last final Doom Bolt in there. Or Demon Bolt, rather. Saya tried to see if he can get himself an angle versus Rick. That's it with a stun immediately. Rick has a wall. Main to use it super early here. Knocking Saya off the bridge, dude. The bridge platform is huge here. Is going to be a Tyrant with a board. Just try to see if he can run out. Saya may have to use a wall here. Everything. Dark back, wall, everything is used. Does go for a meter to traumatic damage. Physical damage from the pets, however, is still going to do a lot, though. Physical damage is still going to do a ton. Does go for a gate with a massive mobility, but one more hammer is all he needs. Does end up taking it. The Overlord. Wait, do you see the Overlord, dude? Just throw his axe long range at Saya. I don't know if connected, but they did state at some point they fixed Overlord, so if for some reason can't reach the target or just chuck its axe, he's gonna walk it up and hit it. Did you see that thing midair flying? I hopefully will be able to like zoom in and slow it down so you guys can see it. I think that is literally the first time I've ever seen that pet do that. Just chuck his axe. I don't know if it even connected. I don't even know if it connected with Saya, but it's the first time I've seen him actually do it. I tried to get him to work and do it on PTR initially, so I could like, when I was going over like class changes or whatever, I was covering Warlocks. I was like, oh hey, they made the pet a little better, but I couldn't get him to like use it. I got him in a great spot where I could like spawn him, but he just wasn't chucking his axe at all. First time I see that thing go spinning, it was amazing. Mies is the last one left over for the team one versus Saya. How has no bubble, no spell warden, lay on hands is the only thing he's got. Mies does have double block, so Mies, if he's careful, he might just have to use the block to counter Saya's damage, not necessarily for a re-heal, because dampening is so high at 11-minute mark. Saya just tried to see if he can handle freedom, rush it over, try to see if force goes out on Mies. Mies with a block. Saya taking a decent bit of sustained damage from the frozen orb and the pets. Hold on, Saya's just melting. Why is Saya's health melting down? Is it just Blizzard and Frozen Orb? Is that all? Must have been me super low, however. Needs something to live. Greater Invis to get himself a bit of DR. Shields barely keeping him alive. Laying heads for Saya. Polymer for Fallen. Mies will have to go. No more blocks, actually. Did he mess up his second block or did he use twice already? I think he just lights. Yeah. Saya just walks up, hammers him. Bringing it home. Leo picking up 3. Well done. We got Saya with 2. Plush picking up 2 as well. Well done. Love the DFA play. Super fun seeing it. Alright, boys. Why act like I had a chance versus Pally? Look, I think when you don't have a bubble or a spell warden, only lay in hands, technically that is as good of a chance as you're gonna get. Like if it was 2 resets, then it's like, okay, maybe it's over. But like I would have hold out hope. Technically it's possible. Technically it's very possible. Alrighty, boys. I think we're done for the night. That was so fun though. I enjoyed it. This was really good. Tomorrow more EU duels, boys. EU tomorrow. Tomorrow EU. So Alexander. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. No, все, не дуэли. Все закончим. Завтра больше на EU. Завтра больше. Больше завтра. Yeah. Boys, thank you so much for coming by. You guys are wonderful, beautiful. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna go get myself something to eat. I'm hungry, dude. I am a hungry boy. Haven't really eaten much except for like when I initially woke up. Just been running off of coffee. I gotta stop doing that. Спасибо за бой. Большое спасибо, что пришел, друг. More duels tomorrow. GG's, Rick. GG's, man. Good matches as always, dude. EU is fantastic. We got more tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll also talk a little bit about the next week's duels. How NA is actually going to get a chance to play. I will need to reach out to like Chicago, Chills, Conan, hit up WAP, let them know that, yo, we got NA duels again, all that. But yeah, I'll join tomorrow. Beautiful. Love watching you play, man. Alrighty, boys. You guys have a good one. Thanks so much for popping in. I appreciate you. And I'll catch all of you guys in the next stream. Alrighty, boys. Alrighty. Peace.